it to not showing up. I would attribute it to not doing what you've been paid to do. Those are ugly. When you get maxed out by a tight end at the line of scrimmage, 5 yards down the field, and you don't disengage and shed and go make a play, that's an effort issue.
And he'll be watched for the rest of the season, every single game. I mean, too much is given, much is expected, and everyone expects a lot of things out of him in Buffalo.
2 teams in 7 seconds. Jags, Lauren Robinson didn't practice with a concussion. Panthers, John Beeson didn't practice as well.
Welcome to ESPN, ESPN2's big night, the final night of the regular season, and already a huge surprise. Texas and Oakland tied 5-5 in the bottom of the fourth, with the winner winning the American League West. John Kruk, Josh Hamilton drops it.
We saw earlier in the week Coco Crisp having some struggles out there with the sun. It's a bad sun field this time of year in Oakland. Josh Hamilton just dropped it.
Texas went up 7-5. This is in Oakland, I should say, went up 7-5, and they ended up winning 12-5.
Unbelievable. And fittingly, Coco Crisp, Victor can blocking the sun, but he can fix the last out. The veteran on the team, the leader.
The unpredictable has already happened. What will unfold tonight? 2 huge games to decide the AL West.
One year. It's been 1 year and 4 days since that magical night.
Grand slam. The Yankees lead 5-0.
We all still remember every moment of it.
I smell the coffee brewing. Bugler rounding third. Here's Pence's throw to the plate. The tag. He is out at home. He got him.
Well, the plot thickens here in Baltimore. The rain has intensified.
A night like no other in baseball history. All of it unfolding across the country at once.
Dan Johnson is in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Play is about to resume. Red Sox with a 3-2 lead.
Going to find a hole to the right side. And this one is over, and the Atlanta Braves have been eliminated, and the St. Louis Cardinals have won the National League wild card.
Crawford playing shallow. Cannot make the catch. He scores! And the Baltimore Orioles stun the Boston Red Sox. And a 2-2 pitch to Longoria. And the Tampa Bay Rays are going to the postseason.
It was a night to remember. Setting up October perfection and the World Series title captured by an unlikely hero.
It is gone! And the Cardinals are World Series champions.
This year has seen another long, demanding grind of a regular season, with so many questions left unanswered until the very end, again.
The race is over.
In recent days, many teams have learned their postseason fate.
Pitches well, the Yankees win, they win the East.
All right, so it's going to be the Yankees trying to do that. If they win, they're in as American League East champions, and the Orioles will be the wild card. We'll keep our eyes on Miguel Cabrera as well. The games are coming up on both networks.
Here's your hot and ready pizza.
No calling? No waiting? There's no rules!
Let's just serve back home.
There's one rule!
Pick up a large, hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria. Rated Teen.
Come in.
Got the coffee?
That was fast.
We're out of here.
If you had $1 for every dollar car insurance companies say they'll save you by switching, you'd have like a ton of dollars. But how are they saving you those dollars? A lot of companies might answer or no comment. Then there's Esurance. Born online, raised by technology, and majors in efficiency. So whatever they save, you save. Hassle, time, paperwork, hair tearing out, and yes, especially dollars. Esurance. Insurance for the modern world. Click or call.
Gonzalez. Look at Ian Desmond. Unbelievable grab. The wait is over. The Nationals clinch their first ever postseason berth.
Unbelievably devoted.
To those who proudly stand in my corner, I will fight.
Irresistibly charismatic. And positively entertaining. He's WWE superstar John Cena.
I do not back down from any challenge.
And he's coming to Ion Television. WWE Main Event premieres tonight at 8/7 Central. Ion Television, channels 305 and 347.
In the name of the general welfare, all industrial entities shall be transferred to the federal government.
Where are they? Anyone who could make a difference.
I'm sitting next to him.
We're so close to having something they won't be able to fight.
The government takes what they want, taxes what they leave behind.
If you feel you have the right to use force against me, bring guns.
I won't be a slave.
Atlas Shrugged, rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere, October 12th.
Who's it going to be? That's the question on everyone's mind. 10 will make it in. 20 will go home. Will it be a perennial favorite? Or a team no one sees coming? David or Goliath? It's time to find out. Survive September. Play in October.
Who is it going to be is still an unanswered question when it comes to the American League East title. Could be answered tonight, the final night of the regular season, as the postseason-bound Orioles take on the Tampa Bay Rays here at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. The Orioles 1 game behind the Yankees in the American League East. If the Yankees beat Boston tonight, they win the division. The Yankees lose and the O's win here tonight. They'll play tomorrow in Baltimore to determine the American League East champion. The Orioles already assured of a wild card berth in the American League. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Sean McDonough, Aaron Boone, and Rick Sutcliffe. Delighted to have you with us. Last night's win for the Orioles, a microcosm of their season. They won 1-0. They're now 29-9 in one-run games in this magical season. And the man who's carried them lately was Chris Davis, the hero last night.
Yeah, Sean, the one-time prospect for the Texas Rangers. There was no room for him in Texas. He has found a home in Baltimore in his second season, really come into his own. 33 home runs on the year, and like you say, he comes in a very hot hitter.
He has homered in 6 straight games. Very important game for the Baltimore Orioles, and the man they'll have on the mound tonight has been a hot pitcher as well, Chris Tillman.
He really has. The last 3 years, up and down with the minor leagues. Problems throwing strikes. Not anymore. Just his 15th start of the year, Sean. He's after win number 10.
Let's head down to the field. Tim Kirkchin standing by with Orioles manager Buck Showalter.
Buck, in spring training, you whispered to me, don't sleep on this team. And, of course, I did. But what did you see this spring that really nobody else saw?
Well, I'm not that smart, Tim. I say that about every team. But you know, these guys have gotten their nose bloodied a lot. And they have a lot in common with each other. One, they love the Baltimore Orioles. And they wanted to do something a little different from the norm. It wasn't about shocking anybody. It was just holding themselves to a high standard and raising the bar. So far, so good.
Game 162. How important is this game for your team moving forward into the playoffs?
I think the big thing, Tim, is, you know, is to get a chance to play a game in our home ballpark with our fans, and it's a game that's very important for us. And our guys, believe me, that'd fall underneath the captain obvious if I went in there and said, "Hey guys," because one thing you don't have to worry about these guys is stating the obvious.
Thank you, Buck. Back to you.
All right, Tim. Buck certainly deserves a lot of the credit for this turnaround of the Orioles team. 24 more wins than they had last season. They are 93-68 as they play game 162. And here's Showalter's lineup tonight.
Well, Chris Davis in the 3 spot set an Orioles record, tied an Orioles record with homers in 6 straight ball games, 7 home runs in those games. He's been excellent in right field in place of Markakis as well. Adam Jones, the face of this franchise, their star player. He's in the 4-hole. He's had a lot of success in his career against Hellickson. And Matt Wieters, the Yadier Molina, as I call him, of the American League, a great defensive catcher and career highs in home runs and RBIs in the 5-hole.
Well, the Rays pitching's been outstanding all season long. The problem has been a lack of run support for these pitchers, and nobody's experienced that more than Jeremy Hellickson.
Well, and there's not really anybody that knows Jeremy Hellickson better than these Orioles, Sean. This will be his 6th start of the year against Buck Showalter's team. Just 1 victory on the season. The last time out against the O's, 5 innings, no runs. The pen blew that opportunity to win. But he's always one of those guys that's going to give you a chance to win if you can find a way to score.
The Rays have scored a total of 9 runs with Hellickson on the mound over his last 7 starts. Last night, an example of how the season's gone all year long for the Orioles and for the Rays. They lost a 1-0 game for the 5th time this year. Nate McLouth leads off. Been a hot hitter, 300 over the last month, and he continues to hit the ball sharply, this time with no success as Sam Fold makes a line drive catch with a slide for the first out of the ball game.
Well, Sam Fold, known for his great plays in left field, especially a season ago, gets an outstanding break on this ball, hit well by McLouth, turns it into an easy sliding catch, but because of the break he was able to get, turned it into a pretty easy play for Sam.
One pitch and 1 out for the 25-year-old Iowan, Jeremy Hellickson, who fires a strike into J.J. Hardy. 238, but 343 over the last 9 for Hardy with 22 homers. Hard but foul down the third baseline. And the sizzling Chris Davis is on deck. He hit a home run here last night that still has not landed. Red Sox and Yankees are underway. We'll have that box at the top of the screen all night long. Keep you up to date with what's happening at Yankee Stadium. Then Zobrist throws out Hardy. 2 quick outs here in the first. Take a look at the Rays defense. B.J. Upton, terrific in center field, leads all Major League center fielders in outfield assists with 10. Evan Longoria has missed much of the season since he came back from the disabled list. This is his 26th start at third base. He's made 25 as their DH. And here late in the year, the Rays taking a long look at Chris Jimenez, who's behind the plate for the 5th game in a row. Just his 31st start this season. He was joking, that's the longest streak of starts since he was in Little League. And they want to take a good look at Jimenez. Here's Chris Davis. 7 homers in the last 6 games. 33 for the year. And his home run last night off James Shields ruined a brilliant performance by the Tampa Bay right-hander who set a franchise record last night with 15 strikeouts. Shields gave up just 2 hits, including the homer to Davis. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 15 and lost. Joe Madden said it was the best game he's ever seen pitched at the major league level. Upton can't find the ball. Did it hit one of the catwalks?
Yes, it did. It hit the catwalk. Same thing happened Monday. This one comes down, and the Rays are able to put it away, and all Chris Davis can do is smile. knowing he almost had another one.
Yeah, he had a home run the other night that hit one of the catwalks. This one's an out in a 7-pitch inning for Hellickson as the Orioles go 1-2-3. Didn't quite get it through the clown's nose or through the windmill.
It was a monster win for Brad Keselowski, getting his second chase victory and 5th of the season.
Hell yeah! Great job, guys!
Next up, Talladega Super Speedway, where the new points leader won in May, but now the chase is on the line. Jimmy and Denny are right on number 2's tail, with Jeff Gordon and Junior ready to make their move. Who will avoid the big one and conquer this tri-oval beast? It's round 4 in NASCAR's battle for a championship. Nothing beats first place. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at Talladega, presented by Pennzoil, Sunday at 1 on ESPN.
Hey, are you hibernating, Ticket Oak?
I'm not a bear, Ben.
Well, I got this Ticket Oak on the stupid internet, and there's no tickets for Sunday's game.
Ben, that's a turnip.
Oh.
Besides, you already have tickets coming out of your ear hole.
You.
Benjamin.
Not everyone has a Ticket Oak.
Go to bed, champ.
But everyone can use StubHub. StubHub, where do you want to sit?
Up. A short word that's a tall order. Up your game. Up the ante. And if you stumble, you get back up. Up isn't easy, and we ought to know. We're in the business of up. Every day, Delta flies 250,000 people while investing billions improving everything from booking to baggage claim. We're raising the bar on flying, and tomorrow, we will up it yet again.
Ben Zobrist and Joe Madden talking about what just happened on the play that ended the Orioles first. B.J. Upton never saw it. We didn't see what it hit. But fortunately for the Rays, Ben Zobrist did. It hit one of those catwalks and came down to the glove of the shortstop. He gets credit for the putout. And Chris Davis smiles. This ballpark is given, and it's taken away. He thought that should have been a home run, apparently.
I think he was hoping, because that ball was hit a mile high in the air.
And they have different ground rules depending on which of the rings the ball hits. Here's Chris Tillman ready to go to work. 9-2 this year. He has been outstanding down the stretch, and his first pitch is ball 1 to B.J. Upton. Routine fly to left for Nate McLeod. And let's take a look at the rest of the Tampa Bay Rays lineup.
Well, we saw B.J. Upton leading off there, likely playing in his last game in a Rays uniform, knocking on the door of a 30-30 season. Ben Zobrist, one of the best all-around players that no one really knows about, leads the team in on-base percentage. And Evan Longoria, simply a different team when he is in the lineup, 46 and 27 when he's in.
Rays players talking about if he had been healthy all year, Longoria, they think they would have cruised into the playoffs, perhaps even won 100 ball games. Here's Zobrist, who takes the ball high. Red Sox have taken a quick 1-0 lead, and they're now on the bottom of the first at Yankee Stadium. Cody Ross drove in the run. He's had a decent season for Boston, an otherwise miserable year for the Red Sox. 1-1 to Zobrist. Is a slashing swing and a miss. Close, but a ball. Chris Tillman's 8-1 over his last 12 starts. An ERA of an even 3 since then. That goes back to July 21st. Since that date, only 2 pitchers in Major League Baseball have more wins. Chris Medlin of the Braves and Gio Gonzalez of the Nationals. 2 teams that will be heading to the postseason, like Buck Showalter's Orioles. Chopped slowly to the second baseman, Ryan Flaherty. 2 outs. Let's send you back to the studio. Here's Carl Ravitch with John Kruk.
Sean, here's how that run scored. You mentioned Cody Ross, and they went up 1-0 last night and lost the game.
Yes, they did, but this is a good start for Boston. They got beat last night in a tough game, and now they're coming back. Here we go.
It's 1-0. Kuroda has
exactly
not been
right.
nearly as good as your guy Tillman, Sean.
Interesting to see how long that lead last dice came out. Suzaka's been terrible. You didn't get the sense in the Oriole clubhouse tonight that they had much hope of a Boston win. There's a deep drive to left and gone. Evan Longoria, reminiscent of the last night of the regular season last year. Homers to left. And the Rays lead 1-0.
Well, Sean, I think I agree with the Rays. Had Evan Longoria been healthy all season, I think they would be cruising in to the playoffs. Tillman, a high fastball pitcher, and this ball center cut at the top of the strike zone. You see Longoria staying through that ball a long time, and right away he knows he can go into his trot as he puts the Rays up here in the home half of the first.
This Longoria's home run in game 162 last season, much more dramatic. It sent the Rays to the postseason after the Orioles did the Rays a huge favor and knocked off the Red Sox in Baltimore. And Matt Joyce skies one along the right field line, charging over Davis, and he can't get there.
You know what, guys, I totally agree with what Joe Madden told us in the manager meeting before the game, that not only with Longoria healthy would the Rays have gotten to the postseason, they've got a team that could have gone deep. And when he says that, he's talking about back to the World Series.
Well, they have the best pitching staff in baseball, and certainly could run starters out there night after night who could dominate the postseason series. Well, they didn't score enough to get there. And last night was really the most glaring example. You get one of the best pitched games you'd ever see from Shields, and you still lose.
Yeah, 5 times in the second half of the season they lost the game 1-0, and they're going to look back at this season and know that their offense just was not consistent enough to get them into the postseason this year. And it's a shame, because this, I agree with Joe Madden, this is a team that could compete for a title.
Strike 3 called. Joyce strikes out. First K for Tillman, and it ends the inning. But the Rays are on the board first. Joe Madden said this is an important game for them. They want to win their 90th game of the season and finish with 90 wins or more for the 3rd year in a row, and the 4th time in the last 5 years. They're off to a good start after an inning at St. Pete.
Sitting in a chair for long periods of time not only makes your lower back ache, it can leave you with a sore bottom too. And car seats can really be uncomfortable. Plus, all those hours you spend at the computer can add up to an even more stressed and strained back. Well, the problem isn't how you're sitting, it's the lack of support and cushioning. But now, there's Forever Comfy, the revolutionary foam and gel combination cushion that puts a supple layer of support between you and your seat to make every chair more comfortable, no matter how long you're sitting. Unlike traditional cushions that are just foam, Forever Comfy contains 2 layers of high-density foam and an inner layer of therapeutic comfort gel that distributes your weight evenly to eliminate uncomfortable pressure points and reduce impact on muscles and joints. Turn that hard dining chair into a cozy seat while you eat. Work more without making your back sore. Watch TV for hours in carefree comfort. Forever Comfy instantly conforms to your unique shape for customized comfort every time you sit down, giving you the ultimate in comfort and support for your back and bottom.
You know, I drive this truck for hours at a time, and trust me, these seats are hard as a rock. Since I started using Forever Comfy, my back feels good and my bottom feels good.
The soft fleece cover is washable and helps keep your seat cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Lightweight and portable, so it's easy to take anywhere. Great for patio furniture and turns hard bleachers into soft seats worth cheering about.
With the hard chairs that I have in my kitchen, it hurts my back and it hurts my legs to sit for too long. With Forever Comfy, I can sit for hours and be comfortable.
So why not take the stress and strain off your back and bottom and get Forever Comfy now? Other gel-filled cushions sell for up to $100, but you can get the Forever Comfy with high-density foam and therapeutic comfort gel for only $19.95. But wait, call right now and we'll send you a second Forever Comfy free. One for the house and one for the car. You just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 Forever Comfys for just $19.95.
To order Forever Comfy for $19.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-767-0979 or order online at getforevercomfy.com.
The ESPN Radio has all of your bases covered for the most exciting time of the Major League Baseball season. As the playoffs get underway, don't miss any of the action on the diamond or the wild card through the World Series. Starting Friday on ESPN Radio, my distinguished colleagues Aaron Boone and Rick Sutcliffe will be involved in our radio coverage. Adam Jones broke his bat and pops out to the shortstop Ben Zobrist. 1 pitch and 1 out. Jeremy Hellickson has needed 8 pitches to record 4 outs so far.
Hellickson running that fastball in. You can see Jones sitting right on top of the plate. As I mentioned earlier, both of this team and this pitcher very familiar with each other. And Sean, I got to tell you, back in 2010 when I first saw Jeremy Hellickson, of course it was in that Futures game.
Of course.
Started 2 innings, also picked up the victory. Remind me as much of Greg Maddux as anybody I had seen. The composure, the pace of what he works with, the command, and when needed, when a runner gets into scoring position, that extra gear with velocity is there as well.
Yeah, the record says 9-11, but as we noted in the first inning, he has really been victimized by the lack of run support provided by the Rays hitters. Wieters, 312 over the last 21 games. 23 homers for the year for Wieters. Been a big year for home runs from catchers. Matt is one of the Major League record 8 players who hit at least 20 homers as a catcher this year. And he does it all. He gets raves for his work behind the plate, handling the pitching staff. Wieters and then Jim Thome against Hellickson. Good job by Wieters, who foul one out of play.
Well, let's take a look at some of that great defense from Matt Wieters the other day. Great jump from first base, throwing from his knees. Guns down Dustin Pedroia, one of the best throwing catchers in the game. But like Sean said, outstanding at handling the pitching staff and providing power in the middle of this Oriole lineup. What's been impressive is he is finishing strong. Oftentimes you'll see catchers tired down the stretch, especially offensively. Not big, strong Matt Wieters. He has been very good in the month of September.
Well, Aaron, it's not like he's handling the Tampa Bay Rays staff.
Right.
I mean, the turnover in that rotation for the Baltimore Orioles has been amazing.
Good off-speed pitch by Hellickson, who has his first strikeout of the night. 5 up and 5 down.
Another
for Baltimore.
thing, Sean, that'll remind you of Greg Maddux is that great straight changeup and how much it looks like that of a fastball. Looked like it was going to be a heater on the inside corner. You see Wieters open up, trying to get the head of the bat to that baseball, and mainly was fooled on it because of the delivery of it, more so than the late life.
Starts Jim Thome with a changeup.
And I think what's so important, we saw, Rick, the inside fastball to Adam Jones that jammed him, that sets up that great changeup. If he's commanding the inside part of the plate with his fastball, that great changeup becomes even better. We've seen a couple of good ones already tonight.
Saw the graphic. Thome 7th all-time in Major League Baseball in home runs. Could be coming to the end of his career. Only Bonds, Aaron, Ruth, Mays, Rodriguez, and Griffey Jr. ahead of Jim Thome. He's been a factor down the stretch here. 19 games for the Orioles. His last 19, he's hit .303. Strike 3 at the knees. Jeremy Hellickson is picking up where James Shields left off last night against these Baltimore hitters. 1-0 Rays, middle of the second in St. Petersburg.
What inspires change? What makes a small, determined team start a car company in a warehouse? What drives us forward? What motivates us? And why do we help others follow their passion? Maybe because we see ourselves. It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
Here's your hot and ready pizza.
No calling? No waiting? There's no rules!
Let's just start back on.
There's one rule!
Pick up a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
We got ADT because I walked in on a burglary once. The physical damage was pretty bad. The emotional toll was even worse. Our daughter had nightmares. What that robber really took from us was our peace of mind. With ADT, we got it back.
Every 14.3 seconds, a burglary takes place in the United States. So rely on the fast alarm response of ADT. A single ADT system can help protect you from burglary, fire, and high levels of carbon monoxide. When an alarm is received, ADT calls the local authorities for help. And you can get this monitored protection plus great local service starting at just over $1 a day. And only ADT offers a theft protection guarantee.
Take it from me. The time to think about a security system isn't after something bad happens. It's before.
Call now and get one of our best values, ADT's Quick Connect Plus system installed for $99. Hurry and take advantage of these savings. ADT, always there.
The Orioles heading to the postseason for the first time since 1997. In '83, they won the World Series over the Phillies. In '96, the loss to the Yankees, the Jeffrey Mayer game, a part of that. Last appearance in '97, they lost to the Indians. And now they are heading back. Still to be determined, will they be the American League East champion or a wild card team? A lot of unknowns, a lot of contingency plans. We talked about with Buck Showalter before the game. Chris Tillman delivered ball one high to Ryan Roberts as we go to the home half of the second. The Rays leading 1-0 on a home run in the first by Evan Longoria. Has been the only base runner of this game so far.
Rick, I think it's really good to see the Oriole fan base kind of coming back and getting excited, seeing the buzz, the excitement that exists right now in Baltimore, this very proud franchise that's, let's face it, been on hard times for several years now. And I think when they had you throw out the first pitch this year, I think they got the season off on a good note, and it's been a magical year for the Orioles.
Well, it is definitely one of the prettiest ballparks in all of baseball. And if they had any kind of a product at all, there's a lot of baseball fans in and around that city that would show up as they have this year.
Swing and a miss. Tillman threw a 95-mile-per-hour fastball past Roberts for the first out of the inning. Second strikeout of the night for Chris Tillman.
Sean, as we talked about earlier, it's just been about throwing strikes for the 24-year-old right-hander. Up and down over the last 4 years, every time he got to the big leagues, he would try to be too fine. He was walking way too many people. Not the case anymore. He really seems to have settled in.
It was great in his last outing. 1 run allowed. And it was an unearned run in 8 innings. And a win over Boston.
Yeah,
strike to Carlos Pena.
1 hit allowed, and that was the very first hitter of that game. But Sednick with a bunt base hit, and then Tillman just absolutely dominated.
Pena takes a breaking ball for a strike.
There is a good look at that breaking ball, which has been one of the best in the league. Opponents hitting just .038 off of his breaking ball. The best or worst batting average against a breaking ball of qualifying pitchers. When he gets that going with that good downhill Straight four-seam fastball, Rick, up in the strike zone. He is a tough, tough customer. Uses that size to his advantage.
038?
038.
Where'd you get that number at?
I pulled that nugget out today.
That's a good number.
Justin Havens, crack researcher.
Close but a ball on Pena. Tillman over his last 11 1/3 innings pitched has allowed only 5 base runners. He has been excellent. Talking about the contingencies, Buck Showalter told us before the game, one plan is that they have a busload of players who are here right now on the expanded September roster who aren't going to be on the playoff roster at the start. They're going to take a bus down the road to the Orioles spring training facilities. Pena strikes out in Sarasota and stay sharp in case they are needed in other playoff series should the Orioles advance. But if the Orioles play the Yankees tomorrow in a one-game situation to determine the American League East champion, you can still have the expanded roster, so they're going to abort that plan. Those guys aren't going to get on the bus. They're going to go to Baltimore for the game tomorrow, which is where it would be if the Yankees lose tonight and the Orioles win. It'll be at 7:10 tomorrow night. We talked about the excitement of the fans. I bet that place will be rocking tomorrow night. If it's Yankees and Orioles to determine the division title. Sam Fuld, the batter. Already had a shocking turnaround in the American League West, where if you missed it today, the Oakland A's won the division by beating Texas. The Rangers had been in first place in the American League West since April 8th, when they were 2-1. They led by as many as 6.5 games in mid-August. The A's were 13 games out of first on June 30th, and they are the AL West champs. Texas had a 5-1 lead today and blew it.
Well, we were there last week, guys, and I remember saying after Texas won Game 4 of their 4-game set with Oakland and going up 4 games with 6 to play, it's like disaster is the only thing that would keep the Rangers from winning this division. Well, 1 week later, disaster has set in Arlington.
We were trying to get Ron Washington to tell us his Game 1 starter.
Fuld hits one pretty well to right. Davis drifts back. The ball managed not to hit any obstacles and is caught by the right fielder. Love this place. 1-0 Rays after 2.
And I made it in under 30 minutes, which I guess is a record, but whatever. And then here's my man cave. I like to surround myself with greatness, which is why I got this. This is a fathead of one of the greatest defensive players in the NFL. Like ever, throughout time. This here is a fathead mural of a bone-chilling sack celebration. It's terrifying. This is a fathead big head. It's just a big awesome face. I never liked this lamp. In fact, I hated it. So I put a fathead junior over it. Now I don't even see it anymore. Not even football related. Just a real hot pick. That's why I had a custom fathead made. Sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I'll just come in here and feel better. Not sure why, but I just do.
Find the fathead that's right for you. Prices starting at $9.99 at fathead.com. Fathead, for real.
Introducing a car company that's never made a single car. Legendary durability. Impressive mileage. Firestone tires. So unstrap the saddle, 'cause these old stallions are ready to run. Again. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
I put up with a lot.
All right.
My boss is half my age.
Really?
Joey thinks I'm a great listener. The good news? With my 401k, I only have to work until I'm 83. Yeah, I put up with a lot. One thing I won't put up with is a chainsaw that always breaks down. So I use professional-grade equipment from Echo.
Echo Outdoor Power Equipment. Only professional grade. Backed by a 5-year warranty. Get serious. Get a free chainsaw case value pack with purchase of select Echo chainsaws at participating outdoor power equipment dealers.
Well, Mark Teixeira was just up with 2 men on. The Yankees unable to move them in as he struck out. Already, Bobby Valentine's got some activity squirming in the bullpen as Daisuke is getting into some trouble here in the second inning of 2 on.
I think James Shields is messing with Chris Davis.
From the ball that he hit last night that you talked about.
440 feet was that Davis home run, but the only run allowed by James Shields last night, whose neck is fine. What a performance he turned in last night for the Rays. But the one run allowed was not a cheapie. He didn't lose 1-0 on a little bloop hit. Davis hit a Titanic home run off the roof of the restaurant in straightaway center field. Jeremy Hellickson pitching to Mark Reynolds. Here's a look back at the only run of the game last night as Chris Davis homered for his 6th consecutive game.
It was like that ball was shot out of a cannon. It got really quiet in this ballpark when Chris Davis hit that, but you're right, otherwise a dominating performance from James Shields.
Estimated 440 feet. Reynolds hits a pop-up along the third base line. Longoria in foul ground. 1 out here in the third. Let's get another update from Boston and New York. Here's Carl.
Double Daisuke got himself into. He couldn't get out of it. Curtis Granderson.
Got a big out from Teixeira. Thought he might work it, but Siege just said, nope, I'll handle this one for 3.
42 home runs on the year for Granderson. The Yankees on top 3-1.
The Yankees win. They clinch the American League East. It's still important for the Orioles to win, because even if the Yankees win, were the Orioles to win, they would host the 1-game wild card against the Rangers on Friday in Baltimore. Ryan Flaherty, the batter. Flaherty, the number 8 hitter, and then Manny Machado. They haven't had a base runner yet. They didn't have a bat last night with a runner in scoring position against Shields, and they still won. Here are the scenarios if they win tonight. Right now they're trailing 1-0. At the very worst, they'd host the wild card game against the Rangers Friday. If they win and the Red Sox come back and beat the Yankees, the Orioles would host the American League East tie-breaking game tomorrow night at Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
To hear you say it, Sean, and to now see it on a graphic there, to see the fact that the Rangers are now playing in that wild card game, it still just boggles the mind considering where they were just a week ago.
And a lot of people think they have the best overall team in baseball when you combine the great, deep, powerful lineup and their pitching. Now Texas in a situation, it could be one postseason game and done. There's a bomb, but foul.
Well, Aaron, you said it earlier in the year about Texas on Baseball Tonight. You thought it was the closest thing to a complete team that the game of baseball had. The experience, the depth that they added in the bullpen, the offense that was there, the great start that Josh Hamilton got off to, but that starting rotation just has given out on them the last couple of weeks.
And you figure the way last season ended, such a disappointing loss in Game 6 and Game 7 to the Cardinals, for them to come out of the gate, get off to a good start, seemingly put last year behind them, to see it all crumble a little bit this final week. Now they still have a chance to get in and turn things around in a hurry, and it's still, from a talent standpoint, a team that if they get in can certainly turn it around, but not looking good right now.
Flaherty thrown out by Ryan Roberts. 2 down.
This This kid seems to get bigger every time I see him. And I know one thing, in batting practice, he continues to hit the ball further.
Manny Machado. It's possible he's still growing.
Well, at 20 years of age, Sean, this is a guy that is going to continue to fill out. Rick, you're going to continue to see him grow each and every offseason, just 185 pounds now. He's got the type of frame that you could see him easily in the next 3, 4, 5 years, filling out to 210, 215, even more. But a special, special talent and has had a real impact since coming up to the major leagues. Has solidified this team defensively at third base and made big contributions with his bat at the bottom of the lineup.
Swinging for the downs there, 1-2.
The only thing he hasn't done this year well is perform against the Tampa Bay Rays. 3 for 20, just a 120 average against Joe Madden's team.
From South Florida, the third player taken in the draft just 2 years ago in 2010. Grounded down to third, gobbled up nicely by Longoria. And Jeremy Hellickson has pitched 3 perfect innings. Still 1-0. Tampa Bay in the third.
Keep believing and keep playing hard.
The game's huge for both teams.
We got the Bulldogs coming in. It's a crucial game.
Atmosphere befitting a very important conference game. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Murray going deep, touchdown! Lattimore heading for the end zone, touchdown! South Carolina and Georgia, the quarter battle.
Let's say you need to take care of legal matters. Wouldn't it be nice if there was an easier, less expensive option than using a traditional lawyer? Well, LegalZoom came up with a better way. We took the best of the old and combined it with modern technology. Together, you get quality services on your terms with total customer support. LegalZoom documents have been accepted in all 50 states, and they're backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So go to LegalZoom.com today and see for yourself. It's law that just makes sense.
AppDrive is about to shift your mobile gaming experience into high gear. With AppDrive in your mobile device, you can really feel the force and speed of driving. Featuring the free app MX Off-Road, plus top games like Asphalt 7 Heat, and many more. With 4-button total control and authentic steering, Appfinity AppDrive isn't just another phone accessory, it's a gaming system. Appfinity AppDrive is $19.99 plus $8.99 shipping and handling. You must be 18 or older to order. AppDrive is compatible with select devices which are not included.
Agents, say hello to the biggest hailstone in U.S. history.
Oh, that'll leave a dent. Which is exactly why we educate people about comprehensive coverage.
Yep, the right choice now can pay off later.
Looks like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
No!
Agents, say hello to the second biggest hailstone in U.S. history.
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Thursday night, it's a battle in the Pac-12 South. Matt Barkley and Aaron Boone's USC Trojans face another tough test on the road when they travel to Utah. They take on Kyle Whittingham's Utes. College football prime time served by Applebee's. Number 13 USC against Utah Thursday at 9 on ESPN. You can also watch it on Watch ESPN.
Barbecue at my house tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Scottsdale, if you're in the neighborhood, come on over.
You're springing for a meal. Took till game 162. They have that happen.
That last barbecue you had at your house didn't work out too well, did it? Wasn't that the Stanford game?
Let's move it along.
Move it along we do to Stephen Vogt, the leadoff batter here. He's the DH.
You guys did beat Syracuse, though.
Yes, we did.
Well, our boys were busy studying at the Harvard of Central New York. But only one base runner in this game, and it was Evan Longoria with a 2-out home run in the first inning. Chris Tillman's retired 4 in a row since. Vogt Chris Jimenez, and then the top of the order, B.J. Upton.
Guys, I love what Joe Madden has done with Stephen Vogt, getting an opportunity. A great year last year. Catcher, outfielder, kind of in between on what his position will be, but 0 for 22 this year at the big league level. Joe Madden giving him an opportunity to get that out of the way.
That's driven to right. And a late start by Davis, but he made the catch. So I'm worried about the Orioles outfield defense in right when Nick Markakis went down with a thumb injury, but Davis has proven to be pretty solid out there.
Yeah, he's answered the bell, and I think surprisingly to Buck Showalter and most of the Orioles, Nick Markakis there, out for probably the entire postseason, an outstanding defensive right fielder. I don't think they were so sure Chris Davis would be able to handle it, but he has, and he's played it well for the Orioles.
And Davis, along with Andy Chavez, Lou Ford, been filling in, mostly Davis, in the absence of Markakis, and they've done a great job offensively, too. The right fielders, since Markakis went down, have combined to hit .326. 7 homers and 17 runs batted in. .22 games without Markakis. Chris Jimenez is the batter. And he has a hit. Davis over to cut it off. 1 out base runner for the Rays. Here's Tim Kirkjian.
Yeah, Sean, Markakis is going to be out for 3 more weeks. So the earliest the Orioles will be able to get him is the World Series because of that broken finger. But Chris Davis has done a terrific job defensively in right field. Remember, he's a first baseman who's playing out there almost in an emergency situation. But he's such a good athlete. He's got great hands. He runs a lot better than people think. And I asked him about his days as an athlete, and he was a good high school quarterback. I asked him, were you this big when you played quarterback in high school? He said, well, I wasn't this big, but I was a lot bigger than our center was.
B.J. Upton, the batter, as Aaron said earlier, quite possible this is his final game in a Rays uniform. Fly to left his first time up. Check swing at a ball low. Ted Barrett is the home plate umpire tonight with Mark Carlson at first, Angel Hernandez at second, and Ed Hickox at third. In shallow right, Davis again.
Seen Davis now go back on a ball, come in, deal with that roof, which sometimes can be tricky for visiting players, especially a guy who hasn't spent a ton of time in the outfield, but has handled all the plays. And guys, when Markakis went down, as good as he was playing, not only defensively, but at the top of this lineup, he was really having an impact offensively. I thought that might be the end of the Orioles. But as Sean stated, all the people that have picked up the slack in Markakis' absence have allowed the Orioles to continue to flourish, this offense to continue to flourish, and them to be in a position now to maybe win the East.
You know, you got Machado playing out of position at third. You look at Reynolds, who was the third baseman, now at first. Every bit of that has worked out. I think once again, guys, it comes down to Buck Showalter's ability to evaluate. When he sees a good athlete, he puts the right coach in the situation to help him along, and that's why they're heading to the postseason. Machado, of course, drafted out of high school as a shortstop. Will probably get back to shortstop at some point, but not the way J.J. Hardy's playing right now.
And, you know, I think the courage to bring Machado up to the big leagues when, frankly, I thought at 20 years old, I thought it might have been rushing him to the big leagues. But I think it says a lot for the Orioles organization, Buck Showalter, the knowledge they had, to know that he would come up and have an impact, and he most certainly has, both defensively and at the bottom of the order. A great and courageous move by the Orioles.
Showalter certainly a leading candidate for American League Manager of the Year honors. You'd have to think Bob Melvin of the A's is his primary competition. Certainly Dan Duquette in his first year as general manager of the Orioles deserves a lot of credit. They've had to do a lot of maneuvering with this team during the year. Duquette's a great resurrection story. He's out of baseball for a long time after he got let go by the Red Sox. Full count with 2 outs, so Jimenez will be off from first with the payoff pitch to Zobrist. And that's hit well. Adam Jones on the run, makes the catch. Well, that's 2 nights in a row, Aaron. We've watched him make a catch that very few center fielders in baseball would make.
Last night to right center, this tonight to left center. Both have saved runs. Will it lead to an Orioles victory?
What can you experience in a seat? Inspiration. Great power. Iconic design. Exhilarating performance.
He once again has created Lamar history.
And once in a great while, all of the above. Take your seat in the incomparable Audi A8. The highest ranked vehicle appeal among large premium cars by J.D. Power and Associates.
Imagine designing something as charming as me. You just need to take that first step and visit the Art Institute's open house. You'll tour the classrooms, meet the faculty, and learn more about the curriculum and potential career opportunities. You might even see something as charming as me.
Visit AILearnMore.com to RSVP for our next open house event.
Are your credit cards maxed out? Just making minimum payments or even behind on your bills? Freedom Debt Relief's mission is to help you get rid of your credit card debt.
After my divorce, I had $17,000 in credit card debt. Freedom Debt Relief settled all 7 of my credit card bills with one low monthly program payment.
This is a unique program that will get you relief and on your way to resolving your debt. Make the most important call of your life today.
Call Freedom Debt Relief now at 1-800-324-8991. That's 1-800-324-8991.
The possibility that 1 strike away from guaranteeing it tomorrow. They're now 1 swing away from season over. 1-1 pitch. Line to left. Crawford playing shallow. Dives. Cannot make the catch. Rival comes to the plate. He scores! And the Baltimore Orioles stun the Boston Red Sox. Memorable end of the season a year ago for the Orioles. Just their 69th win, but a lot of the people around the Orioles believe that helped give them some momentum going into the offseason and spring training. They learned late last year they could play with some of the best teams in the American League, and this year a 24-win improvement, most improved team in baseball this year. Of course, the other in that top 4 group of teams, they're all going to the playoffs. Rays lead tonight 1-0. We shouldn't be surprised, I guess, because the other stops for Buck Showalter, the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, and the Rangers, his teams all improved by at least 12 games from his first full season to his second.
And I think what Buck does so well is he changes the cultures, the expectations of organizations, and they started to do that late last year and heading into this season in spring training. This is a team that absolutely believed they could compete in the American League East. That belief has gone a long way, and I think it's gone a long way, Rick, in helping them be so dynamic in 1-run wins.
I totally agree with you. And Sean, what you said about that win helping getting this organization back on track and thinking about winning. The guy I think of is Chris Davis. He was the guy, after Papelbon had struck out 2 guys, had 2 strikes on him, that hit the double. And then Reimold hit the double and Dino with the base hit to win it. Well, you take a look at the year that Chris Davis is having right now. The one thing I'll say right along with that, though, is I look back at the last 4 or 5 games that he's not played in. Buck Showalter has set him against John Lester, C.C. Sabathia, David Price. He's done a real nice job quietly protecting this youngster so he can evolve.
As Buck said before the game, it's not that Davis can't hit left-handed pitching. He's decent, but you have a chance to have him skip pitchers like that. Why not? McLeod bounced it to second. Roberts threw him out. Well, as you can see, the score has changed in New York. Here's Carl.
They did it with an early home run from Granderson, and Robinson Cano is scalding hot.
Cut her right to the barrel.
His last 9 games, he's batting just shy of 600. Yankees leading the Red Sox 5-1. Last 9 games.
Daisuke trying to bury that slider down and in, and Robinson Cano beating him to the punch. Man, 600.
J.J. Hardy, the batter, he takes a strike. You think Bobby Valentine's just trying to annoy Red Sox Nation one last time by running Daisuke out there in the final game of the regular season?
Oh, man.
I think Red Sox fans have seen enough of him, actually of both of them.
Right along with ripping his coaching staff earlier today.
Yeah, Bobby just can't go a day or 2 without stirring something up. And today, apparently, what we're reading on ESPN.com, he was talking about how some of his coaches weren't loyal. I would imagine it'd be a relatively short period of time before the Red Sox pull the plug on the Bobby Valentine era and the season ends. Disaster from start to finish.
It will be an interesting offseason in the Commonwealth.
Yes, it will.
Which way they're going to take their organization, go into a rebuilding mode, reload. What are they going to do? Be one of the fun things to follow this winter.
And in fairness to Valentine, it is not exactly a lineup filled with Titans these days that he's been provided. Of course, he had to make that comment too about it might be the weakest September lineup that he's seen. I'm sure the players appreciated that. Hardy strikes out, the 3rd strikeout of the night for Jeremy Hellickson.
Guys, does this changeup not remind you a little bit of Greg Maddux? The composure. Look at the delivery. You could see the grip there, the circle change. And once again, even though they know it's coming with 2 strikes, it's his best pitch. That's in the back of their mind. They're not able to get to it yet.
And guys, without a hit tonight, only 2 hits last night, this Rays team, last game and a half, really have shut down this power hitting Orioles team. And 2 great pitchers with great changeups. Hellickson tonight, Shields last night.
The good news for the Orioles is they will not see a pitching staff this good from any of the other teams who will be in the American League playoffs. Here's Davis, who's homered in 6 straight games. Which ties the franchise record. Ken Williams did it as a St. Louis Brown back in 1922, and the only Baltimore Oriole prior to Davis to hit a homer in 6 straight games was Reggie Jackson in his only year with the O's in 1976.
And Sean, this is one of those great matchups of strength versus strength. Hellickson with the great straight changeup and off-speed pitches. Chris Davis, of those 7 homers he's hit in the last 6 days, all of them have come on off-speed pitches. He's hit 19 of his 33 homers on off-speed pitches this year.
He strikes out, but the ball got away, and he is going to be their first base runner of the night on a strikeout. Jimenez couldn't corral it. It's the 4th K of the night for Hellickson, but the O's have a base runner.
Well, it's a little bit tougher to block the breaking ball more so than a changeup. This is a curveball down in the zone exactly where he wanted it, but you could see how it skipped right off the top of home plate there. I think that's what fooled Jimenez there. He didn't quite get his body down quick enough to keep the ball in front of him. It kicks off, it gets on the turf, and finally the Orioles with a base runner.
Strike out on a wild pitch, allowing Davis to reach, so he's at first with 2 outs. 4th inning. 1-0 Rays. On a home run by Evan Longoria. Adam Jones took a ball low. He popped to short his first time up. Jones has hit 2 homers off Jeremy Hellickson this season.
Different story right now, guys. We've seen it all year long where a pitcher's real comfortable in the windup, cruising, and then all of a sudden, for the first time in a long time, gets into the stretch and just loses his focus on home plate.
Home foul past DeMarlo Hale, the third base coach. We mentioned he's taken Hellickson deep twice. The first was on May 11th in Baltimore. Tie-back game at 1 in the 2nd inning. The Orioles defeated the Rays 4-3 that evening. Then July 24th over the Oriole bullpen. Gave the Orioles a 1-0 lead. That's the only run that they got off Hellickson. The Rays won that one 3-1. They could hit another, the Orioles would have the lead. He lines that to right. That's going to fall in for a hit. Cut off by Matt Joyce. On to third goes Davis. First hit of the night for Baltimore, and they got a little help from that wild pitch to extend the inning. Jones took advantage of it.
Well, after throwing him a 2-0 straight changeup, Hellickson wanted to come in with the fastball, which is how he retired him in his first at bat. You see Jimenez setting up in. This ball drifts into the middle of the plate, and Adam Jones just drives it to right field, right center field. At first thought it might get through and into the gap and lead to a tie game, but Joyce able to cut the ball off.
So Jones with the big catch to end the last half inning, probably saved a run. Now he extends the inning with the first Oriole hit of the night. Here's Matt Wieters with a tying run at third. Go ahead run at first. Wieters struck out in the 2nd.
This might be a good time. Matt Wieters, a smart hitter, a guy that will sit on pitches. 1-0 is a situation where Hellickson likes to go to that changeup. This may be a situation where Wieters looks for it. And I actually think he was looking off speed. Maybe not the curveball. Hellickson, Rick, with a good one. This is a tight one. The bottom just falls out of that, starts it in the zone, buries it down and in. Good pitch to get back in the count.
He had that same kind of success with that curveball against Chris Davis until the wild pitch got away and created this mess for him. Looking at the numbers, guys, just a 249 average on the year for Wieters, but taking a closer look at their division, a combined 350 against the Yankees and the Rays this year. Some of the best pitching in the game.
We're talking about the turnaround of the Orioles, and Buck Showalter, the first to admit some of it is just good fortune. When you win 29 one-run games, you have to have some things go your way, and they have. And some of that is what happened with the other teams in the division. Yankees, some key injuries. Tampa Bay, we've mentioned, lost Longoria for a long stretch of time and struggled without him. Obviously, the Red Sox are way down from what they typically are. Toronto had some key injuries, and you're playing a lot of games in the division when you could make the arguments really the West was a better division this year.
Yeah, it wasn't your typical AL East this year, Sean. No question about it. And I think the Orioles took advantage of that to their credit. That one-run victory record they have this year, truly amazing. They are knocking on the door.
They've been knocking on the door all month in terms of first place. Leaders is swinging a miss and the count is full. The Orioles have been fewer than 2 games out of first place in the American League East without ever having had sole possession of the top spot for 30 straight days now. It's been tantalizing for them to get ahead of the Yankees. They haven't been able to do it. That's since September 3rd. That's the longest such streak in September or later for any team in modern Major League Baseball history. Haven't been able to quite get over the hump. Oakland did it on the final day of the regular season today. Finally got ahead of Texas to win the division. 3-2 with the runner going from first. In the hole, the pitcher's going to have to cover. Good throw by Ryan Roberts. And the Orioles strand 2. The only run of this game has come off the bat of that man, Evan Longoria. He'll lead off as they go to the bottom of the 4th.
Save big money during the Menards Oktoberfest sale. Give your home a fresh look with aluminum soffit and fascia from Cell-Even. They're low maintenance and help ventilate your home. Available in 14 colors, all Cell-Even soffit products are 10% off. Protect your home from water damage with Spectra aluminum gutters. They're maintenance-free and won't rust or crack. 10-foot pieces in white, brown, or clay are $1.99 each after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Tired of faded bumpers, foggy headlights, weathered, sun-damaged vehicles? Introducing Wipe New, the world's longest-lasting solution for restoring and protecting your vehicle. And we guarantee it to last for years. We applied Wipe New to the driver's side of this vehicle. We then sent this car through over 100 powerful car washes. Wipe New never faded or washed away, proving that the results will last for years of real-world environmental exposure.
I don't think I ever seen it, Fernando. I got it about 2 years old, and I've never seen it shine like this.
Don't spend a fortune on temporary fixes. Order now and we'll double the size. That's enough for 2 cars. There's still more. Order now and get the Pro Detailing Kit with the headlight applicator bonus. Just pay separate shipping and processing. Order now and get it all, plus a 2-year guarantee.
To get your Wipe New detailing kit, call 1-800-770-5126. Wipe New comes with a 2-year money-back guarantee and is not available in stores. Call 1-800-770-5126 today.
Well, the Tampa Bay Rays have marked the spot where Evan Longoria's memorable home run landed in Game 162 last year against the Yankees, the walk-off winner that propelled them to the postseason. They ended the Red Sox season, Game 162 of this season. They won't be going to the postseason if he has homered again tonight on Chris Tillman, and it's still the only run of this game as Longoria leads off the Rays' 4th inning. Tillman's allowed just 2 hits. Chris Jimenez a single, the other Tampa Bay hit. Longoria, Matt Joyce, and Ryan Roberts, the 3 through 5 hitters coming up. Help that fence isn't very high down there because it didn't make it into that 162 landing area by much.
It all just added to the drama of 162 a season ago. The timeline of everything unfolding, the short fence. Amazing night.
It was. We were just getting off the air in Baltimore and had barely thrown it down to Tampa for the completion of that game when the ball was sailing over the fence. Off-speed pitch, chopped foul.
Just watching him swing right now, Aaron. I mean, he's constantly off balance on anything away. That torn hamstring is not going to heal until probably the first of next year, but he's still out there battling.
There's another deep drive. Well, game 162 is his game. Second home run of the night for Evan Longoria, and a 2-0 Rays lead.
Well, we've talked about the outstanding fastball curveball combination that Chris Tillman possesses. This is back-to-back changeups, his third best pitch that he usually does not throw to a right-handed hitter. Longoria, the first at bat, a fastball up in the zone. This time a changeup, belt high, and again, he knows it right away that he doesn't have to put any pressure on that leg and running around the bases as he goes into his trot early on that bomb to left.
Third time he's hit multiple homers in a game against the Orioles. 11th career multiple homer game for Evan Longoria. Yes, this season for the Rays might have been a little bit different if he had played the whole year.
Almost identical spots, Rick. Different pitches, but identical spots. Down the middle, about belt high, the top of the strike zone. Longoria did not miss either one.
There's just so many ways that he helps this ball club. His voice in that dugout, his presence in that clubhouse. But not only thinking about the offense that they missed for the 3 months that he was out. And Aaron, you showed the record. How about their defense from a year ago? They had the best fielding percentage in the American League. This year, the last. And that was just a revolving door down there at third, trying to fill in for him.
Line foul down into the bullpen.
And Rick, I don't think you can say it enough, just what he's playing through. It is a torn hamstring that only time is going to heal it, but he's been out there performing lately, playing more and more third base, trying to get his team into the postseason. Certainly a heroic effort down the stretch by Evan Longoria.
Sean, he was talking about it last week. The toughest part is getting off an airplane. After he's been up in the air, I guess with altitude and all of that, he can hardly get off because of the swelling in that leg.
I've been on some charters where people had a hard time getting off the plane, but it wasn't because of a hamstring injury. Swing and a miss. Joyce strikes out. That's the fourth strikeout of the night for Tillman. So the Orioles aren't getting the help that they need from the Red Sox and seem unlikely to get it with the lineup that Boston is putting out there night in and night out. At the very least, they'd like to turn this game around and win it so that they would host the wild card game against Texas. The Yankees win and they lose. Buck Showalter's team would have to go to Texas for the one-game wild card. And Buck said before the game he really wanted to play another game in front of their home fans. A home run ball.
Authenticated it there with the sheet.
Might be another one out there. Towering fly ball to left. McLeod can't see it. And it is gone. Ryan Roberts hits the second home run of the inning for the Rays. Their third of the night. All three runs have come on solo homers. 12th of the year. 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Well, guys, you'll remember we were here the very first time they ever had instant replay. And it was because of the catwalks or the rings, whatever you want to call them, here at Tropicana Field. This ball's clearly out of the ballpark. out there waiting on it to come down. Abe McLeod looking for it. Where is it? No clue.
Guys,
Line to first and caught by Reynolds. Carlos Pena is retired.
You're not sure that was going, huh?
No, it actually seemed like maybe it hit the top of that wall and ricocheted.
Let me tell you something, partner. I gave up over 230. I know when it's gone.
There was no argument from the Orioles. Just to appease Aaron, we'll take another look.
Well, guys, the big part to me is which ring that it hit. The ball that Zobrist caught hit
fly to left.
The B ring, the second ring. And by rule, that ball's in play where it comes down. The third ring is not.
Here's your hot and ready pizza.
No calling? No waiting? There's no rules!
Let's just serve back on.
There's one rule!
Pick up a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria. Rated Teen.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. We listened to your suggestions, so we came out with a new color, Flex Seal Bright. Flex Seal Bright coats and seals while remaining completely flexible. It's actually liquid rubber in a can, perfect for sealing cracks and quickly repairing decorative items. This light coating holds back water, a lot of water. It's like the Hoover Dam in a can. Don't call a repairman to fix leaks around your home. You can get Flex Seal Bright for just $19.99. But hold everything. We're going to include another can of Flex Seal Bright. Plus, we'll include this Aero Grip Sprayer, absolutely free. You get 2 large cans of Flex Seal Bright and the Aero Grip Sprayer, all for just $19.99.
To order Flex Seal Bright, call 1-800-809-6852. That's 1-800-809-6852, or go to flexsealbright.com.
The Orioles igniting Camden Yards. At the wall. A walk-off homer for Adam Jones. They turn a double play. Are you kidding me?
Sean McDonough, Aaron Boone, Rick Sutcliffe, Tim Kirkjian back in St. Petersburg, Florida. Tampa Bay Rays trying to earn their 90th win to conclude the season, lead the Baltimore Orioles 3-0. Here's a look again at the home run by Ryan Roberts. It just missed one of the catwalks, one of the rings. And then it lands over the fence, hits a blue seat, and kicks back onto the field. Are you satisfied now,
I am
Mr.
satisfied. It took the whole in-between innings for me to be convinced, but good work by our crew.
There's the very spot. Jeff Evers, our director, our terrific crew. Andy Reichwald, our producer.
I know you agree, Aaron. I second that, too. The guys in the truck have been phenomenal all year. Andy putting together an all-star team down there. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Been a fun year, as it always is. Andy does a great job setting the tone. We all tolerate Jeff Evers, and we all march happily ever after. Some of the crew, I would say it's been an excellent performance tonight, since we are told, while we were here at the game last night studying, that the crew had an end-of-the-season party. I thought a few of the folks were a little bit sluggish walking around the Trop today, but once the game has started, they have performed admirably, as always.
A couple of them didn't make the meeting this morning. Good for them.
Jim Thome called out on strikes his first time up. A guy who just loves to play, and Tommy has really enjoyed being a part of this surprising Oriole team. Another strikeout for Hellickson, his 5th. Well, there are a number of those rings and catwalks here, and here are the rules. It's over fair territory, hits the lower 2 catwalks, it's a homer. The upper 2, it's just in play, as we saw on that ball Davis hit. Stays on the upper 2, it's a ground rule double. If you get it in the clown's nose, you get a free game. This place stinks. They really need a new park. There's talk about another park somewhere else in St. Pete. There's other conversation about maybe moving it over to Tampa and putting it over near the hockey rink where the Tampa Bay Lightning play.
I just feel sorry for these players. This is a fun team to watch. And because of where it's located and the facility itself, very few people show up. Aaron, you mentioned there's a lot of orange here tonight, and I would imagine the Rays welcome that.
You know, it's a long way over here to St. Pete if you live on the Tampa Bay side or east of that. Reynolds fouls one off his foot. And we're talking with the terrific announcer for the Rays, Dwayne Statz, before the game tonight. And he told us something that we didn't know, which is that relative to the other markets in Major League Baseball, there are very few big corporations that are headquartered in this area. And a lot of times season tickets, luxury suites are bought by companies. And there aren't a lot of them around here to buy up the tickets. Buck Showalter out to check on Reynolds, who wrapped one off his foot.
Well, just a little running fastball in on the hands. You see it right off the top of the foot there. Reynolds, who at times has played such a huge role in the second half, especially going on power tears from time to time. That looks like a painful one that he's trying to walk off right now.
You can break bones in your foot doing that. And I think with the playoffs upcoming, if there's any question at all, no reason to keep Reynolds in the ball game. Looks like he's trying to convince himself, trainer and manager, that he's all right.
You know, if he can, you know, you'll want him to finish the at bat, and then, like you say, Sean, that'll probably be it.
He's going to stay up there. The Rays, despite having what may well be at the end of the night a 90-win team for the 3rd year in a row, last in the majors in home attendance, a little over 1.5 million fans. They average under 20,000 per home date. Glad we have the roof tonight, though. A lot of thunderstorms.
A lot of rain today
in the area today. So Reynolds back up there with a 2-2 count. And he hens one over toward the windmill. And Fold has a play. Well, part of it is with all the obstacles up there dangling from the ceiling, you can never really give up on a ball because you never know what it might hit and where it might wind up.
Well, we saw Zobrist in the first inning never giving up on it, catching one off the deflection. Here Sam Fold does a good job of getting to that wall, positioning himself and turning it into an easy play. But because he gets himself into position early, he's able to make it. This is the most I've seen the catwalks come into play. It seems like there's been now 3 or 4 plays where hit, almost hit.
Bunt popped up by Ryan Flaherty's foul. Do you think the Rays come out here and practice? All right, we're going to take catwalk ricochet practice today. Got a fungo bat and have a coach come out here try to pop a few off the various catwalks.
I wouldn't be surprised if a time or two a year that they do that, especially early in the season, just to get guys familiar with, you know, recognizing the ball off the white colored ceiling one and then dealing with the different obstacles and windmills and clowns' noses and and whatnot.
I think you might need a machine to shoot the ball up there. That's a long ways for a coach to hit a fungo.
Yeah. Or Chris Davis. Hit a couple of roof scrapers in this series. Evan Longoria's hit 2 homers tonight. Ryan Roberts the other. And Jeremy Hellickson has allowed just 1 hit. Strike 3. What a performance by Hellickson after the spectacular game pitched by James Shields last night. 6 strikeouts for Jeremy Hellickson. Still 3-0 Tampa Bay.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Nebraska, Ohio State, Saturday at 8.
You toss and turn all night. Your back aches and your neck is in a knot. Introducing the all-new Sobakawa Cloud Pillow. A pillow 300 years in the making, based on the traditional Asian buckwheat pillow. The Sobakawa Cloud is filled with over 10 million air beads, a virtual sea of clouds that support your head and neck while keeping you cool and comfortable. Ordinary pillows are shaped like bricks. The Sobakawa Cloud's unique crescent shape is designed to follow the contours of your neck and shoulders. As you move, the beads move with you, maintaining both comfort and support. Plus, you'll never have to keep fluffing and flipping like ordinary pillows. This is truly a stay cool pillow.
I feel refreshed. And I don't feel the back of my hair stuck to my head because of its coolness.
Your head weighs about 10 pounds. If you don't get support, you wake feeling worse than when you went to bed. We placed eggs on the bottom of these cylinders. Filled this cylinder with feathers from an expensive pillow. This 10-pound weight crushes the feathers and smashes the eggs. In this tube, we have stuffing from a fiber pillow, and it offers little resistance. Then we tried memory foam, and the weight wins again. Now watch as the weight hits the air beads. They absorb the shock, and the eggs are safe. Ordinary pillows flatten and lose their shape. The Sobakawa Cloud Pillow will keep its shape sleep after sleep after sleep. Order your Sobakawa Cloud Pillow for just $19.99. Order today and we'll also include the Sobakawa Pillowcase, a $10 value, and it's yours free. It's designed to breathe and continually adjust to the shape of the pillow. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order. You'll receive a second Sobakawa pillow and pillowcase for just the shipping and handling. That's just $19.99 for 2 Sobakawa pillows plus 2 free pillowcases. But you have to call now.
To order your Sobakawa Cloud Pillow, call 1-800-709-2952. Call now and get a second pillow for free. So call 1-800-709-2952 and order today.
We're back in St. Petersburg, Florida, Tropicana Field. ESPN Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN2 tonight. Orioles and Rays. Rays leading 3-0. Over on ESPN, the Yankees still leading Boston 5-1. They're in the 5th inning now. The Yankees win. They win the American League East. The Orioles need a Yankee loss, and they need to beat the Rays tonight to tie for the division in the American League East through 162 games and force a tie-breaking game in Baltimore tomorrow. But right now, they're not getting either of the results they need. Stephen Vogt. Skies one to right. Davis the catch, 1 out. Here's Tim Kirkjian.
Sean, the Orioles will be playing in the wild card game on Friday in Texas if everything holds the way that it is now. And the question will be, who are they going to pitch in that game? That's likely going to be Joe Saunders, who pitched on Sunday. He's pitched very well for them down the stretch, and he'll be on full rest for Friday's wild card game. They'd rather have a right-hander in there because they feel they have a better shot against that Texas lineup with a right-hander. And Steve Johnson threw today in the bullpen and did very well. He's got a sore knee, got hit with a line drive on Saturday, but he's much better. So they have an option, Saunders or Johnson. My guess is it would be Saunders unless they go, we need the right-hander against Texas.
I got the feeling hearing Buck Showalter talk that he was actually leaning toward the right-hander, but Tim knows more than we do.
Yeah, I think the full rest for Joe Saunders may be the tiebreaker there, and I think a lot of that was based on Johnson's, how things went. The fact that it went well today, I think now probably turns it into a decision. and something they'll think about if they do lose for the next couple of days.
Well, guys, the fact that it went well today is one thing, but I think more importantly than that is what's he going to feel like tomorrow?
Right.
And all of a sudden you're talking Thursday and you're going to start him the next day? I don't think you can.
This Jimenez is the batter. Now to play to the right. Jimenez singled to right. He is the only hit for the Rays that did not leave the park. They have 4 hits off Chris Tillman, 3 of them solo homers, and then a Jimenez single. What's one of the few negatives, I guess, of this extra wild card that was added this year, it does create a lot of uncertainty and variables and last-minute planning and contingencies for tie-breaking games. Where's the wild card game going to be? And we were talking to Buck Showalter before the game. He said they still don't have a hotel in Texas, if that's where they wind up going. So they might stay here tonight while they try to find a hotel room. Buck has a home in that area. He says it's only 3 bedrooms, so I really can't have the whole team stay over there.
Although they are a close-knit team, you know.
Very close. That would be a little too close.
A little bunk up, get out the sleeping bags, and
some of them could stay at the Boone's at the barbecue. You just split them up.
That's another part of their success. Buck Showalter raving about the morale, the chemistry, the belief that they have in themselves now. Jimenez out on the pop-up to Flaherty at second. And let's get another update from Carl Ravitch.
All right, here with my partner, John Kruk. And John, out of nowhere come the Oakland A's. They trailed by 13 June 30th. 13.
And you thought, well, how can they sweep the Texas Rangers, even though as good as they're playing? But yet they did. Now they're the champions of the West.
The AL West champs in a division with Texas and the Angels. They win it.
With 94 wins.
Wow. And the crazy part about that, if the Yankees somehow lost this game tonight, the A's would turn into the #1 seed as a tiebreaker with the Yankees. They won the head-to-head. Incredible turn of events the final week of this season. It's just still weird looking at it.
The Angels, with all that talent, charged to the finish but came up well short. Upton smokes one foul. That's another team that I think the American League playoff teams are happy didn't make it. The Angels, because were they able to get in, they were certainly capable of a deep run. But they're 2 really good teams in the American League, the Angels and these Rays, that won't make it. Upton strikes out. Tillman has a 1-2-3 fifth. Still 3-0 Rays after 5 in St. Petersburg.
Change is uncomfortable. Change is unsettling. For those who strive to constantly improve, change is necessary. After creating the bike that redefined training, what did we do? We changed it. Introducing the new 2012 Proform Tour de France, the bike that changes training forever. Train like a pro on the official training bike of the Tour de France. Change altitude. With 20% incline, 20% decline, you'll be ready no matter what the road throws at you. Change perspective. Ride anywhere, even the Tour. Choose from 24 pre-mat courses or draw your own. Change gears with new one-touch handlebar shifting, adjustable saddle, and a new advanced power meter. You'll always know your exact output. The new 2012 Proform Tour de France. Now that you're ready to change the way you train, call or go online today to get the newly advanced Proform TDF with 0 down plus free upgrade on rush shipping.
1, 2, Kalamazoo. 3, 4, Jersey Shore. 5, 6, West Phoenix. 1008, 1009, Dallas, Denver, Anaheim. 35,023, Puget Sound, and Miami.
What inspires change? What makes a small, determined team start a car company in a warehouse? What drives us forward? What motivates us? And why do we help others follow their passion? Maybe because we see ourselves. It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at scion.com.
ESPN's Wednesday Night Baseball from St. Petersburg, brought to you by T-Mobile. Test drive our nationwide 4G network. At Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg.
The
McDonough
Trop.
with Aaron Boone, Sniffle Sutcliffe, and Tim Kirkton. Rick is powering his way through the Sniffles tonight to go the distance, all 162 with us on ESPN this year.
Looking for a lot more than a quality start tonight, guys. I don't know that Jeremy Hellickson's going to get through the 6th inning here. Activity already down in the Ray bullpen. You see McGee up and throwing there. I would imagine he's getting ready if the left-handed hitting Chris Davis were to come up in this inning.
Sure, the Orioles would love to see Hellickson go. He has dominated them tonight. They've had just one hit.
You know, guys, what Jake McGee being up, if he comes into this ball game, that may suggest that Fernando Rodney is available and perhaps going to pitch in this ball game if the Rays have a save situation late. There was some debate whether he would pitch. There you look at Fernando Rodney, who's had a historically great season, matching the great 1990 season of Dennis Eckersley of more than 40 saves and about a 6 ERA.
Well, that's the historical part of it. If he didn't pitch tonight, he'd finish the year with the lowest bullpen ERA ever, with a minimum of 60 innings pitched. His ERA is 0.61 with 47 saves. And it's actually a fraction, as you see, better than what Dennis Eckersley put up in 1990. Numbers almost identical all the way up and down. So when we talked with Joe Madden before the game tonight, are you going to use Rodney? He said, you know, I've been thinking about that a lot. And we visited with him 3 hours before the game. Joe had still not made up his mind. He wasn't even sure if he should talk to Rodney about it or just go with his gut when the situation arose. If it did, of course, it's quite possible there won't be a save situation tonight, and it becomes a moot point. Machado draws a leadoff walk, the first walk given up by Hellickson.
Guys, we've talked about the changeup of Jeremy Hellickson all night long. Let's explain it a little bit. Take a look at the circle change. That's the circle right there. That's what they talk about when they call it. But what makes it move is that little pinky finger on the outside. Hellickson will do different things with it. When he's going into a left-hander or away to a right-hander, he'll keep the pinky down so that the ball just drops straight down. If he's going to throw it to a left-handed hitter and he wants more movement to it, he'll get the pinky out of the way, putting all the pressure on the inside part of the ball, creating more movement. Tremendous at that and repeating his delivery.
Top of the order now for Baltimore. Fastball inside from Hellickson and Nate McLouth. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, is going to go to the mound now.
He does look a little bit out of sorts right now. After getting ahead of Machado, tried to put him away, lost his can. And one thing, too, that Joe Madden has talked to us about all year, the pitch count, the inning count. You know, we still monitor that as well. We don't talk about it like some other teams do. 25 years of age for Hellickson. Last year, he had 29 starts, 13 wins. This year, this is his 31st start, and he's closing in on 177 innings. That's a good year's work.
Yeah, it's the last game of the season. You're out of it. There's no reason to push one of your bright young pitchers. In this instance,
I think a big thing, too, Sean, is that with a win tonight, the Rays would have 5 guys with 10-plus wins for the 3rd straight year.
Hellickson should have many more than that, but the way he's pitched, but the run support hasn't been there. This 3-run uprising seems like tremendous run support for him. David Price, a 20-game winner, might well be the Cy Young Award winner in the American League. Starters have dominated in this series for Tampa. There are the numbers. Price wins 20, first in the franchise history to do it. Well, time for another debate for you guys. If you have a debate, who do you like in this Cy Young race in the American League?
I like them all, obviously, but if I had a vote, it would be the guy there on the left, David Price.
I am with you. I think it's David Price, but his teammate Fernando Rodney is certainly going to get strong consideration. Those four guys all, I would expect it to be a very close vote this year for the American League Cy Young. Of course, last year Justin Verlander ran away with the award. This year I think it's going to be very close between those four individuals.
This year, I got 2 more arbitrations.
The Yankees now lead 7-1, so it is looking more and more as if the Yankees will win the East and the Orioles will be a wild card. Then the question is, will they be the #1 wild card and host, or will they go to Texas? They don't turn this one around, they're on their way to Texas. Two and two on McLeod with J.J. Hardy on deck. Hellickson looks like a different guy all of a sudden.
What happens is everything from the waist down is doing exactly the same thing, Sean, but that arm's just tired. I mean, thinking back on it, it's almost like instead of having blood in it, it's got sand. It'll get to where it feels that heavy.
See if Machado's running on a 3-2 pitch, down by 3 runs. He is not. And it's a pop-up that appears to be playable. Pena in foul ground, 1 out. Here's Carl Ravitch with John Kruk.
All right, John, we mentioned he is hitting over 600, or just about 600 in his last 9 games. You can't get Cano out.
620 now.
Another home run.
He might win the home run title. Watch out, Miggy.
Robinson's got 33. Earlier, Granderson hit his 42nd. Yankees are rolling again.
And that's going to be the end right here for Jeremy Hellickson. Strong performance. He can win it. He cannot lose it. And the fans thank him for a solid season at age 25.
Tired of faded bumpers, foggy headlights, weathered, sun-damaged vehicles? You've spent time and money applying product again and again to hide those embarrassing parts on your car, only to have that work fade away. Not anymore. Introducing Wipe New, the world's longest-lasting solution for restoring and protecting your vehicle. And we guarantee it to last for years. Just apply Wipe New once. It's quick and easy to do. Just one swipe and watch your car turn showroom new.
I've been a professional auto detailer for 30 years. Now I restore faded plastic rather than just clean it. And I do it in no time at all. I apply Wipe New to bumpers, side panels, even dashes and interior plastic. Simply apply it once and it lasts for years. Wipe New is the most revolutionary car care product that I've used in my entire detailing career.
We applied Wipe New to the driver's side of this vehicle. We then sent this car through over 100 powerful car washes. Wipe New never faded or washed away, proving that the results will last for years of real-world environmental exposure.
I don't think I ever seen it, Brando. I got it about 2 years old, and I've never seen it shine like this.
And we guarantee it to last for years. Use it on bumpers, decorative outside panels, side view mirrors, even vinyl or leather car seats for a protected showroom new shine. Don't spend a fortune on temporary fixes. Order the revolutionary Wipe New for only $19.99. But wait, order now and we'll double the size. That's enough for 2 cars. There's still more. Order now and get the Pro Detailing Kit with the headlight applicator bonus. Just pay separate shipping and processing. That's right, Wipe New restores your headlights too. Order now and get it all, plus a 2-year guarantee. A $50 value for only $19.99. Order now.
To get your Wipe New detailing kit, call 1-800-577-9419. Wipe New comes with a 2-year money-back guarantee and is not available in stores. So call 1-800-577-9419 and order today.
Jeremy Hellickson, the starter, out after 5 1/3 innings. He leaves with his team ahead 3-0. Mentioned earlier, the starters in this series have been tremendous for Tampa Bay. And here's Jake McGee on in relief of Hellickson.
Really one of those unsung heroes, guys. You look at closing in on 70 appearances, an ERA under 2, only 11 walks, right-handed batters, right at 100.
I think he has closer stuff. He's quickly ahead in the count with J.J. Hardy. No balls and 2 strikes in the Baltimore shortstop. He's grounded to short and struck out. Monday night, the Rays starter is Alex Cobb. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits in 7 innings. Last night, James Shields went the distance, gave up 1 run on 2 hits, and he lost. And tonight, Hellickson gave up 1 run in 5 1/3. Hard to imagine your starters could be much better than that. Upton, the catch, Hardy retired.
Well, the only problem that he had was on the breaking ball in the dirt. Chris Davis gets to first base because of the wild pitch, and he missed his location. That was a fastball out over the plate. Jones with a solid single. Guys on first and third, all he does is retire him on a nice ground ball to first to get out of that jam and cruise into the 6th inning. It's a nice combination there with Matt Moore.
There's some terrific young arms. The question for them, I think, in the offseason would be, do they need to trade one of those talented pitchers to get a couple of good everyday players who can help this anemic offense?
I don't think they can afford to keep James Shields. And it's a sad statement to make. An option for him at only $9 million for a pitcher like that.
Well, he thought he was going to be gone at the trading deadline. He was relieved that he wasn't. He said he'd like to stay. He loves being a part of this deep and talented staff. Chris Davis is the hitter, and McGee's quickly ahead of him, 0-2.
Well, I think that's one of the best things, Sean, that the Rays did was not trade James Shields at the deadline, because remember, he was really, Rick, in a 2-month spell where he was not pitching very well at all. He has been dominant in the second half since the trade deadline. Now, if they can either keep him or if they do trade him, his value is much higher now than it was at the trade deadline.
95 miles an hour for him last night in the 9th inning. Remember we were talking earlier about Buck Showalter from time to time giving Chris Davis a game off? This might be an at-bat right here that, from the looks of the first 2 strikes, that Chris Davis would like to stay away from in the future.
That ends the inning. The Orioles cannot take advantage of the leadoff walk. They're still down 3-0.
Introducing a car company that's never made a single car. We took the power of a 9-year-old V8 and gave it the impressive handling of Firestone's Destination tire. Now, moms agree. Every milk run feels like a victory lap. So whatever you drive a Firestone.
At Little Caesars, we have hot and ready pizzas available all day, every day, so you don't have to call 1-800-TRY-LITTLE-C to order. Just come in and pick one up. I repeat, do not call 1-800-TRY-LITTLE-C, or you will be sorry.
So, why are we up here?
Because Farmers offers a new roof discount? Oh, boy.
Yep. And it's an agent's job to help people find new ways to save.
There's some cool stuff up here.
There sure is. Look what I found. It's a fiddler on the roof. What are the chances?
We are insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Ask me what it's like when my Tempur-Pedic moves.
Why not talk to someone who owns an adjustable version of the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about my Tempur Advanced Ergo.
Goes up.
Ask me what it's like to get a massage anytime you want.
goes down. Tempur-Pedic brand owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ergonomics.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
For more information or to find a retailer near you, visit TempurPedic.com.
Two homers for Evan Longoria. The other run on a solo homer by Ryan Roberts. That was all the damage done to the starter, Chris Tillman. He's now out of the ball game as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And the new pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles is right-hander Jake Arrieta.
Sean, I had an opportunity to see him on opening day at Camden Yard, and he was outstanding. Looked like he was well on his way to establishing himself as a starting pitcher in the big leagues, but that did not happen. He's been wild, but he's been wild in the strike zone, giving up a lot more hits than he should have. The ability, without a doubt, is there.
Arrieta greeted by Ben Zobrist to an 0 for 2 against Tillman. He's got a lively arm. That was 95, a fastball from Arrieta. Chop foul will be Zobrist, Longoria, and Joyce. Longoria already working on a 2-homer night.
Looks really stressed out over there on deck. Well, we've seen already from Jake Arrieta. You talked about the live arm, Sean. Fastball in the mid-90s. We've seen a good curveball there. We've seen the slider. They feel like, Rick, you said it, all the tools are there to be a good major league pitcher, and they're hoping next year he can take the same step that Chris Tillman made in the strides Chris Tillman was able to make this season.
Fastball for strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. One out here in the 6th. Chris Tillman went 5 innings.
Well, Sean, he had been outstanding leading up to this point. In his last 6 starts, 4-0 with an ERA of 1.70, but elevating the fastball today is what got him in trouble. He knew it both times on Evan Longoria. I mean, really, when you look at it, the offense that he's had behind him, 3 runs in 5 innings, you would think he might be in line for the victory, but Hellickson was just that much better.
No walks, 5 strikeouts. For Tillman, he threw 83 pitches. Couldn't keep Longoria in the park. Evan with a chance for a 3-homer game if he could hit his 3rd solo home run of the night. Check swing, no swing, said Mark Carlson. We mentioned he's had the knack in game 162. This is the 5th time he's played in the final game of the regular season with 2 homers tonight. The homer last year against the Yankees. He's hit 7 home runs. You don't really want the season to end when that happens.
I'll tell you what, he goes in the offseason each year with a real nice taste in his mouth. And certainly with all the lost season that it's been, the lost games this year, finishing on a high note for Evan Longoria.
Well, from June 11th of last season until he went on the disabled list this year on May 1st, he led the majors in runs batted in and led the American League in that time in home runs. That's driven to center. Will it be his 3rd home run of the night? Yes.
And I really think after Arrieta threw that 1-0 breaking ball, all of a sudden Longoria says, you know what, I'm just going to sit on that pitch. He missed with a couple of them, comes back with that 3-2 breaking ball after taking the 3-1 fastball. Not really located, again, wild in the zone, leaving the ballpark at dead center field.
Second time in his career he's hit 3 homers in a game. He did it September 18th of 2008 against Minnesota.
And guys, that is now 3 different pitches he's hit out. He had a fastball his first time up, a changeup his second homer, and this time now a breaking ball to dead center field here at Tropicana Field. What a performance by Evan Longoria.
For a curtain call from the crowd here at the Trop. They've hit 4 homers tonight. All of them solo shots. Matt Joyce, the hitter, he struck out twice against Tillman.
I mean, I just don't understand why. Why 2-1? You throw 96 miles an hour. You try to fool somebody with a curveball. Throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball down on the outer half located.
McLouth, wow, awkwardly made the catch. He's had a hard time seeing the ball out there in left field tonight. Smiles at his buddies in the bullpen as he managed to make the catch, and Joyce is retired.
Well, almost a little bit of disaster. Overruns this ball and then looks like he loses it a little bit in the lights or in that roof. Pretty good adjustment to be able to hang on after almost really butchering the play.
It is hard to see the ball against the roof. The roof is just about the same color as the baseball. Ryan Roberts, the batter. Roberts has the other home run. 3 solo shots by Longoria and a solo homer by Roberts in the 4th inning, counting for the 4 runs in this game. McLouth has his eyes on that one. That ends the inning, but Longoria's done it again. He's 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. And as soon as he hit it, his manager Joe Madden knew it was a home run. Said that's a homer. And reason to smile for Longoria and the Rays as they try to earn their 90th win of the year.
I referred through my buddies, and DirecTV gives me $30 off my bill every month. But it wasn't about the money. My natural instinct is to help people. And in my line of work, my word has to mean something. So if I tell the guys, you get all these great channels and this amazing picture quality, that's what they're gonna get.
Refer a friend to DirecTV, and you'll both get $10 off your bill every month. Just give them your account number before they call 1-855-REFER-NOW.
Attention, well, everyone. You can now try Snapshot from Progressive free for 30 days. Just plug this into your car and your good driving can save you up to 30%. You can even try it without switching your insurance. Why not give it a shot? Carry on.
Now you can test drive Snapshot before you switch. Visit Progressive.com today.
At 4-0, the loaded Texans are emerging as one of the best teams in the league.
In for the touchdown.
Monday, they put their perfect record on the line as the Jets look to make a statement.
We got to do something offensively. Let's go.
With a marquee win at home. Countdown goes inside every story from around the league at 6:30 Eastern. Then, Monday Night Football. Texans, Jets, 8:30 on ESPN.
It all comes down to Monday night.
Come in.
Got the coffee?
That was fast.
We're out of here.
Many of baseball's top players have visited the MLB Fan Cave this season. Check it out by going to MLBFanCave.com. You can follow it, MLB Fan Cave on Twitter. And like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. Don't miss out your chance to win exclusive prizes.
I got to check that out tomorrow and see who's still alive there.
Yeah.
You had Kyle, right?
I had Kyle winning it.
I had Ricardo.
Jake McGee pitching to Adam Jones. Imagine if you're the Orioles, you'd have to be a little concerned regardless of what your playoff status is, and it's looking right now like they're going to be a wild card and maybe be the visiting wild card team on Friday in Texas. You don't want to go into the playoffs off a series like this where you barely had a hit for 3 days.
And it probably gets as tough on Friday, if assuming you're facing Yu Darvish in that play-in game. So definitely the Orioles hoping they're not starting to struggle offensively at the wrong time.
He came in last inning, retired both batters he faced, and he blows away Jones, who chased one up and out of the strike zone.
Well, and since he's come in, he's gone to that high fastball, something that's such a great pitch for him. This one well out of the strike zone, and he gets the chase on it. Usually he works at the top of the strike zone with that fastball, is able to get it by right-handed hitters. This one well up and out of the zone that Jones chases, and looks like McGee's night's going to be done now. Job well done. Season well done for Jake McGee.
The Hill depart. Pitching change in St. Petersburg with the Rays leading the Orioles 4-0.
Hi, Phil Swift here for Flex Seal, the easy way to coat, seal, and stop leaks fast. We listened to your suggestions, so we came out with a new color. That's right, Flex Seal Bright. Water passes easily right through this screen, but new Flex Seal Bright creates a super strong barrier that stops water dead in its tracks. Flex Seal Bright coats and seals while remaining completely flexible. It's actually liquid rubber in a can. Flex Seal Bright is perfect for all your home repairs and covers easily. Now that's a beautiful seal that will last for years. This powerful stream penetrates deep to create a bendable barrier that's totally waterproof. Flex Seal Bright's rubberized coating reflects the hot sun. In extreme heat or cold, Flex Seal Bright keeps its hold. This new bright coating is ideal for lighter surfaces, perfect for fixing fountains and quickly repairing decorative items. This light coating holds back water, a lot of water. Flex Seal Bright. It's like the Hoover Dam in a can. Flex Seal Bright blends with lighter surfaces, coats, seals, and stops leaks fast. Don't call a repairman to fix leaks around your home. That'll cost you thousands. You can get Flex Seal Bright right now for just $19.99. But hold everything. We're going to include another can of Flex Seal Bright. Just pay separate processing. Plus, we'll include this Aero Grip Sprayer, absolutely free. And be sure to ask about Leak Finder. This concentrated solution seeks out leaks at the source. You get 2 large cans of Flex Seal Bright and the Aero Grip Sprayer, all for just $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order Flex Seal Bright, call 1-800-680-8047. That's 1-800-680-8047, or go to FlexSealBright.com. And don't forget to ask about Leak Finder. Call now.
Back at Tropicana Field, Wade Davis, the new pitcher for the Rays. He's ready to go with a fastball up and in on Matt Wieters.
Hard throwing right-hander, 27 years of age. Could be a starter. Joe Madden, Sean was telling us before the game, he could also handle that closer's role. He felt like
in capable hands right now with Fernando Rodney. He has closer stuff. He'll get it up there in the high 90s. That 95 might have just been a warm-up. Power slider as well for Davis. Readers struck out and grounded out. Jake McGee threw 11 pitches to retire 3 batters. 9 of them strikes. He got 6 swings and misses. Readers just did get a piece of it to stay alive.
There's that power breaking ball, Sean, you were talking about. An easy move right there for Joe Madden to keep Wieters on the left side. Almost 100 points higher this year, guys, from the right side.
.97 miles per hour and sent down the left field line to Sam Fuld.
Well, guys, we are getting an excellent look at why teams in the American League are so excited that the Rays will not be in the postseason. First, Hellickson, their number 3 or 4 starter, was in complete command for the first 5+ innings. Then we see Jake McGee, now Wade Davis from the right side, both power pitchers, part of a setup core that's been so good this season. This pitching staff, Rick, for the Rays, as good as we've seen in a long, long time, from starter to the back end of the bullpen to Fernando Rodney and the closer.
Jim Thome, big cut of that 96 mile per hour fastball. And how anemic is that Rays offense? But we mentioned they've lost 1-0 5 times since the All-Star break. They've lost 10 games this season when they allowed 1 earned run. It's the most such losses in the majors since 1991. Last night they had a pitcher lose a game when he struck out 15, didn't walk anybody, and gave up 1 earned run. The only other pitcher who's had that happen since 1918 was Dwight Gooden of the Mets back in 1984.
Well, we all saw the game. It looked a lot like Doc Gooden.
Rays have the lowest staff ERA in Major League Baseball, 3.21 entering the night. Going to get a little bit lower unless the Orioles score some runs. Rays are going to be the first American League team since Oakland in 1990 to give up fewer than 600 runs in a season. It wasn't shortened by a strike. Thome grounds out. Another 1-2-3 inning. The bats remain very silent for Buck Showalter and the Orioles.
Man, these sonic flat mounts are really bringing me and my taste buds closer together.
Oh, that's nice. You guys are close.
It's like we're not even taste buds. We're taste bros.
Oh, okay.
It's like we all went through some real cool nature experience together, but things didn't get weird.
Is the point of this that I'm not in on it?
You make your own relationships. You seek out your own peer group, man. I found mine.
A barbecue feast in the palm of your hand. New hickory flat melt sandwiches. And save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
Kelley Blue Book. It's the trusted resource. And now, KBB.com has a whole new way to help you decide on your next new car by showing you what really matters. Use 5-year cost to own to compare the long-term costs of maintenance, insurance, and gas. Read reviews.
Gas mileage is awesome.
From actual owners and Kelley Blue Book experts, and get the full picture on what it's like to own the cars you're considering. Then, check fair purchase price and see what you should pay based on what others have paid. That way, you're sure to get a great price. Cost to own, ratings and reviews, fair purchase price. Everything you need to make a smart new car decision is right in front of your eyes at KBB.com.
Here's a look at tonight's game track brought to you by DirecTV. You can track the fly balls off the bat of Evan Longoria. He's went up 3 times, and all 3 of them flew out of the ballpark. First 2 off the starter, Chris Tillman. That one off Jake Arrieta. Second career 3-homer game. Second for Tampa this year. B.J. Upton had one here September 9th against Texas. 3 for 3 with 3 home runs for Longoria. Ryan Roberts a solo homer. It's 4-0 in favor of the Rays as they get ready to come up in the bottom of the 7th. That's Game Track, brought to you by DirecTV.
Buck Showalter going to his bullpen once again. 24-year-old Zach Britton. Just 11 starts on the season. He had 11 victories last year as a part of that starting rotation. And again, that team last year lost 93 games, so they thought he was on his way, but injuries have set him back. Buck was talking before the game, you know, he'd be afraid to start him in the game tonight because of how long he's been out.
17 days between appearances. More action in the bullpen for the Orioles. Luis Ayala warming up. Here's Carlos Pena. 0 for 2. He struck out and lined out to the first baseman. Fastball strike. Jake Arrieta pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 run on 1 hit. The Longoria homer, the 3rd of the night for Evan. Some speculation this could be Carlos Pena's last game as a member of the Rays. Now 34 years old, franchise leader in home runs with 163, but a rough year this year for Carlos, hitting under 200. Back with the Rays after 1 season in Chicago. Burton just missed. Carlos's contract is up with the end of this season. As is B.J. Upton's. Swing and a miss. Pena strikes out. 1 out here in the 7th. You can follow the entire postseason live with MLB.com at Bat 12 on your favorite mobile device. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826. That's at bat to 31826, or visit MLB.com/mobile. Standard message rates apply. Sam Fold is 0 for 2 tonight. We were talking about B.J. Upton will be a free agent. It was interesting on the ride over listening to you two debate. Rick, you think he's going to be a hot commodity in the free agent market and get a really big deal, where I think Aaron didn't think he was going to do quite as well in the free agent market as you think he will.
Well, and once again, I think Aaron's wrong.
Well, let's explain what you said is a good deal.
6 years.
Right.
And somewhere between 18 and $22 million is what I said.
Yeah, and I think you're crazy. Absolutely, I agree.
You're not the only one that said that before.
Now,
might just be the cough medicine.
I think a 4 to 6 year deal is out there for B.J. Upton from a lot of teams, but I don't think at that high dollar. I think we're talking more in the 10 to 14 per year range.
Well, let's go to the tie-breaking vote. Here's Tim Kirkjian.
I'm going to go with Aaron on this one. I think we're closer to 10 to 15 million a year for B.J. Upton at 4, maybe 5 years, something like that. It all depends what the Rays come in with, but my guess is, from all indications, they're not going to have enough money to afford him. There are a couple other center fielders out there on the market, of course, Josh Hamilton and Michael Bourne, but I would say I'd be closer to Booney on this than to Sut.
Well, and
I don't think I asked for Tim's opinion, did I?
And I think he's a safe sign, frankly. He's at an age, 28 years old, where he's in the prime of his career. He's been healthy throughout his career. He's a very good defensive center fielder. And if you accept what he is offensively, a flawed player, but a very talented player, I think he's a sure thing to be at least a quality player for a number of years. So I would not hesitate if I had a need to give him a 4 or a 6-year deal. I just think the dollars you're talking about, Rick, might be a little high.
Aaron, I didn't say I would give it to him.
I know.
Sean,
you said what he's
the Boston
get.
Red Sox got to do something, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to have to pay him a lot more than anybody else to get him to go there and try to clean up that mess.
I think they're done with overpaying Tampa Bay Rays outfielders in Boston. That Carl Crawford thing didn't work out so well. And you're kind of talking about Carl Crawford money. You're up there around $20 million a year. I don't mean to pile on, Rick, but especially you're courageously fighting through the sniffles tonight. But I don't think he's going to get $20 million a year.
I respect all of your opinion, but we're not going to know until we get into the winter. The Chicago Cubs trying to turn things around there. And with all of the players that they've gotten rid of, they've got some salary to go out there and spend.
I mean, I'm not feeling sorry for him. I think if he could scrape by on 10 to 15 million a year, that would be great. Flaherty got it there in time. Bang, bang play. Stephen Vogt thought he beat it.
He needed that hit, too.
Does not matter. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Britton.
Tired of faded bumpers, foggy headlights, weathered, sun-damaged vehicles? Introducing Wipe New, the world's longest-lasting solution for restoring and protecting your vehicle. And we guarantee it to last for years. We applied Wipe New to the driver's side of this vehicle. We then sent this car through over 100 powerful car washes. Wipe New never faded or washed away, proving that the results will last for years of real-world environmental exposure.
I don't think I've ever seen it, Fernando. I got it about 2 years old, and I've never seen it shine like this.
Don't spend a fortune on temporary fixes. Order now and we'll double the size. That's enough for 2 cars. There's still more. Order now and get the Pro Detailing Kit with the Headlight Applicator bonus. Just pay separate shipping and processing. Order now and get it all, plus a 2-year guarantee.
To get your Wipe New detailing kit, call 1-800-770-3910. Wipe New comes with a 2-year money-back guarantee. Is not available in stores. Call 1-800-770-3910 today.
If it wasn't for a little thing called the computer, we might still be making mixtapes. Find this, pause this, play this, eject this, write this. It's like the days before Esurance Express Lane. You had to find a bunch of documents just to get a car insurance quote. Now, Express Lane finds your driving info with just one click. Saving time. To be nostalgic about the days before Express Lane. Thank you, insurance for the modern world. Esurance, now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
It's gone! A grand slam home run for Joey Votto. World champs, Aroldis Chapman. Every night it's Brandon Phillips. Kershaw back to Votto. And the Cincinnati Reds are National League Central Division champions.
Well, it's big night of college football Saturday on ESPN as 3 top 10 teams headline the night. At 7, Aaron Murray and the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs headed to South Carolina to take on number 6, the Gamecocks. Then at 10:30, right off their upset of Stanford last week, the Washington Huskies now want to take down number 2, Oregon. That's at 10:30 Eastern Time. Primetime football presented by Hampton Hotels. Georgia, South Carolina at 7, Washington at Oregon at 10:30 on ESPN. Also live on Watch ESPN. Well, the Orioles have had 3 base runners tonight. They've had 1 man pass first base. Last night they had 1 runner go past first base. That was Davis on the home run. They did not have an at-bat with a runner in scoring position last night and still won the game 1-0. It's beyond saying the bats are quiet, although they ran into that great Tampa starting pitching. The 3 starters, Cobb, Shields, and Hellickson, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs in 21 2/3 innings in this series. Wade Davis thought he had strike 3 there on Reynolds. Joel Peralta warming up. Meanwhile, the Yankee lead is 9-1, so it looks like the Orioles can forget about the division title. Robinson Cano, 6 runs batted into that game tonight at Yankee Stadium, matching his career high. He's on fire heading into the postseason. Little squitter to the second baseman, Ryan Roberts. Reynolds is now 0 for 3. And let's send you back to the studio. Carl Ravitch.
Hi, Sean and John Kruk here. We're checking the Triple Crown race. Miguel Cabrera is 0 for 2 tonight. Slumping. Yeah, given Longoria's efforts tonight and Cano's, he's slumping big time. He's hitting .330 now. Mike Trout knocking on that batting average door, though. He's got 2 hits. Now, that game's in the 8th inning.
8th inning. Probably not going to get another AB.
He's hitting .326. Cabrera wins the batting title. If things stay the same, he'll win the Triple Crown.
And good for him. Good that he played.
Yep.
You like when guys don't sit out. You can certainly understand why he might give him a little rest heading into the postseason. Ryan Flaherty's out on the bounding ball to Ryan Roberts at second. 2 outs, so Cabrera, it seems, is going to do something that's not been accomplished in Major League Baseball since 1967 when Carl Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown for the Red Sox. The home run title by 1 over Josh Hamilton. Of course, there's more action for Cabrera to tack on another homer tonight. Although last night he came out in the middle of the game, so maybe that's the plan.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. With them in the playoffs, I think it makes sense to go play. You don't want to sit out 3 days before the postseason, especially as well as you're swinging the bat. And I'll tell you what, if I could hit like Miguel Cabrera, I'd never want to not play.
And we know what a pipe dream that is, so understandable.
I just lob them up for you, don't I, Sean?
Is Mrs. Boone texting now to tell me to knock it off for the last time this year?
She may.
Don't give her baby a hard time.
I've been told several times by Sue Boone to stop. That's my baby.
Manny Machado, the hitter against Wade Davis. Machado is grounded out and walked. They've had only 3 base runners tonight, and one of them was on a strikeout when strike 3 got away from the catcher, Chris Jimenez. Chris Davis reached in the 4th. They have just 1 hit, an opposite field single by Adam Jones, after they had 2 hits off James Shields last night.
I got to think, Aaron, that for a hitter coming here to Tampa, facing what you just talked about, Sean, I mean, you got to go back to what it was like going to Atlanta. Maddox, Smoltz, Lavin, Millwood, Nagel.
You know, I think couple that with the fact that there's very few ballparks now that you play indoors like this, so it's always an adjustment for a visiting player coming in, getting used to the lighting, just the different visuals, and then you're up against a staff like this, a starting rotation, and a bullpen that boasts the arms that the Rays do. It's a tall task.
All 4 down and in. Machado walks for the 2nd time tonight. That's why I think if the Rays could afford it, they should keep Shields and keep the starting rotation intact, because you have a great chance to win every night when you run one of these guys out there. Try to upgrade the offense enough. I mean, they're going to be 1 game or 2 games away from making the playoffs this year, even when they didn't hit at all.
I agree with you, Sean. And by today's standards, from a starting pitching standpoint, $9 million for a guy like James Shields, not a huge price when you consider what you get, especially with him and Price at the top of a rotation. Man.
You know, if Longoria would have stayed healthy, they'd probably have a 5-game lead in that division right now.
So Luke Scott said he missed a lot of action this year with injuries, and he said if he had had a 600 at-bat season and Longoria had played the full year, he felt like they would have won 100 games.
Longoria
this one stays this way, they'll win 90.
Longoria, Sean, didn't even get to 300 at-bats on the season.
The 0-2 Davis to McLeod, and he struck him out. And Dave McLeod is 0 for 4. Well, Evan Longoria is due to hit fourth in the bottom of the 8th inning. Perhaps we'll get a shot at a 4-home run game.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Nebraska, Ohio State, Saturday at 8.
Here's your hot and ready pizza.
No calling? No waiting? There's no rules!
Let's just serve back on.
There's one rule!
Pick up a large hot and ready pepperoni pizza for $5. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Up. A short word that's a tall order. Up your game. Up the ante. And if you stumble, you get back up. Up isn't easy, and we ought to know. We're in the business of up. Every day, Delta flies 250,000 people while investing billions improving everything from booking to baggage claim. We're raising the bar on flying, and tomorrow, we will up it yet again.
There's only one car company in America that's never made a single car. And while you won't find Firestone cars on any showroom floor, they're out there, running better, faster, stronger, longer. No, we don't build cars. But make no mistake, Firestone is a car company. So whatever you drive a Firestone.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Game 162 of this season, and another memorable final night of the regular season for Evan Longoria. He's hit 3 home runs tonight. Most recent off Jake Arrieta. Perhaps a chance for a 4th home run of the ball game, as he is scheduled to hit 4th in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's hoping they don't have to hit in the 9th with the lead here at home. 3 for 3 with 3 solo homers. For Evan Longoria, the other solo homer hit by Ryan Roberts. New pitcher is Luis Ayala.
Submarine sidearm kind of guy. 65 appearances. You see the good command there. One of those guys that can give you more than an inning, which is always important to have people like that in your bullpen.
35-year-old from Mexico.
Well, we've talked a lot tonight about the great Tampa Bay Ray bullpen, but this Oriole pen, part of the reason they've been so good, and Ayala certainly has been part of that setup mix. Part of the reason the Orioles and their pen have been so successful is guys like Ayala all setting up to the Orioles' outstanding closer, Jim Johnson.
What a season he has had. An Orioles record 51 saves. 2-1 to Chris Jimenez's bounce foul. Jimenez, Upton, and Zobrist with Longoria to hit 4th. Be interesting to see if the crowd reacts when Upton goes up there. They're well aware that he's a free agent at the end of the year, and this could be it. His last at bat as a Tampa Bay Ray.
Guys, I thought the best number on the Orioles bullpen and their improvement was what Dave Corris said in the meeting this morning. 74-0 when they lead after 7 innings.
Yeah, that's an amazing number. Jimenez strikes out. There's been only 2 teams in Major League history that finished the season 74-0 or better than leading after 7 innings. And here is the hand for B.J. Upton, perhaps his final at bat in a Rays uniform.
It's all right to tip your cap to him.
lob one in the left, and he has a hit. Diving attempt by McLeod. Interesting to see if they run for him. We asked Joe Madden about that before the game tonight. He said it depended on the game situation. Not sure you want to take out an excellent defensive outfielder with the lead, but they will. And he'll get one last ovation.
You know, guys, it hasn't always been smooth sailing here for B.J. Upton, but it has been a productive run, and you see the emotion on his face right there as he knows he's coming off as a Ray for the last time, likely. But he's had a big hand in a lot of the Rays' success and their growth from a doormat to one of the real strong franchises in Major League Baseball.
Rich Thompson is the pinch runner. Zobrist bounces it down to first. Reynolds to Hardy, back to first, not in time. And that means that Longoria will get a chance for a fourth home run. And here comes the greeting for Evan. There might be a new pitcher to face him. And there will be a new pitcher for Baltimore as Pedro Strop coming in from the bullpen to take on Longoria, who's hit 3 home runs tonight. Emotional moment for B.J. Upton and for his teammates in the dugout, realizing this is very likely his last game in a Rays uniform.
I had a break-in. We were out when it happened. By the time we called the police, there wasn't much they could do. I felt so helpless.
We were out when it happened, but ADT quickly called the police. I felt like it was over right away.
Feels like it's still not over. We lost our digital photos, financial records, things that insurance simply can't replace.
You can't predict when bad things will happen, but you can help protect yourself with the fast alarm response of ADT. We're always there for your family, with more monitoring centers, more ways to keep up with life at home, and 24/7 monitoring against burglary, fire, and high levels of carbon monoxide. Starting at just over $1 a day. Call now and get ADT installed for just $99. Isn't your family worth America's #1 security company?
I wish I had ADT.
I'm glad we had ADT.
Get ADT installed for just $99 and ask about ADT Pulse, advanced home management here today. ADT, always there.
AppDrive is about to shift your mobile gaming experience into high gear. With AppDrive in your mobile device, you can really feel the force and speed of driving. Featuring the free app MX Off-Road, plus top games like Asphalt 7 Heat and many more. With 4-button total control and authentic steering, Appfinity AppDrive isn't just another phone accessory, it's a gaming system. Appfinity AppDrive is $19.99 plus $8.99 shipping and handling. You must be 18 or older to order. AppDrive is compatible with select devices which are not included.
Need help keeping your digestive balance? Try the #1 gastroenterologist recommended probiotic, Align. Align naturally helps maintain digestive balance. Try Align today.
Evan Longoria in the batter's box will not hit his 4th home run of the night. He swung at the first pitch from Pedro Strop, grounded to third. But he gets a big ovation for his 3-homer night. Only 16 players have ever hit 4 homers in a major league game. Of course, the Orioles familiar with that. Josh Hamilton of Texas did it against them earlier this year. We go to the 9th. Yankees inching closer to the AL East title.
How does this 70-year-old doctor have the body of a 30-year-old? The answer is Cenegenics. GQ suggests that Cenegenics is the path to reversing the signs and symptoms of aging.
Cenegenics changed my life. I'm 70, but I feel like I'm 30.
You are getting older, but with a call to Cenegenics today, you can start on the road to looking younger, a lot younger.
My libido was like I was 18 again. So the desire is there constantly.
I went from 260 pounds to 190 pounds, and I feel great.
Experienced medical doctors have created Synergenics to decrease your body fat and increase your muscle tone, strength, sex drive, and energy. Synergenics is not a pill, a fad diet, or a surgical procedure. It is a customized health program that can make you look and feel years younger. Call Synergenics now for a free healthy aging kit.
Call 1-866-858-8145.
It was a monster win for Brad Keselowski, getting his second chase victory and 5th of the season.
Hell yeah! Great job, guys!
Next up, Talladega Super Speedway, where the new points leader won in May, but now the chase is on the line. Jimmy and Denny are right on number 2's tail, with Jeff Gordon and Junior ready to make their move. Who will avoid the big one and conquer this tri-oval beast? It's round 4 in NASCAR's battle for a championship. Nothing beats first place. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup at Talladega, presented by Pennzoil, Sunday at 1 on ESPN.
What inspires change? What makes a small, determined team start a car company in a warehouse? What drives us forward? What motivates us? And why do we help others follow their passion? Maybe because we see ourselves. It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
Last call for the Orioles. 2 hits last night for Baltimore, only 1 tonight. They bat against the new pitcher for the Rays, the 4th of the night for Tampa Bay. Joel Peralta's on with an all-new battery as Jose Molina is behind the plate. J.J. Hardy leads off and takes a strike. He's 0 for 3.
Sean Peralta, one of the real workhorses in the game of baseball today. 76 appearances on the year, 66 innings pitched, and look at all of those strikeouts.
Hardy, Chris Davis, Adam Jones, the big bats coming up here for Baltimore. Rich Thompson stayed in the ball game after running for Upton, and he is the center fielder.
Oh, and Rick, when Peralta gets to 2 strikes, he's got a great put-away pitch in that split-fingered fastball. If he decides to go it or try and paint another fastball before going to it.
His command is so good.
So the Yankees leading by 7. Orioles down their final 3 outs. Yankees very close now to the AL East title. Fernando, Rodney's warming up. We mentioned if he didn't pitch tonight, he'd end the season with the best ERA ever for a relief pitcher. 0.61. And if it becomes a save situation, it's possible we may see him. And it's a hit into the gap. Chased all the way to the wall by Thompson. And Hardy's into second with a leadoff double. Well, if it stays this way, the Orioles lose, the Yankees win, the Yankees win the division. The Orioles would then be the second wild card. The Rangers would win the tiebreaker with the Orioles, so Texas will host on Friday. The Athletics would go to the Tigers to start that division series. The Yankees would await the winner of the wild card game and would open at the wild card winner in a 2-3 format. The Yankees would be the number 1 seed. But don't count out those Red Sox, down by just 7 in the 7th inning.
I think the Rays were down by 7 last year on the last day of the year, early in the game, to the Yankees, and came back.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, I'm not.
There's Chris Davis, another chance to homer for a 7th straight game. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Only 6 players in Major League history have hit a homer in 7 or more consecutive games. The last to do was Kevin Mench back in 2006. The record is 8 straight games with a homer by Dale Long in 1956. Don Mattingly did it in 1987 and Ken Griffey Jr. in 1993. A ball and a strike on Davis. We've seen a lot of these American League teams this year. Who's your favorite in the American League playoffs?
They're not in the American League playoffs.
The Rays?
Yeah. Truthfully, I mean, that's how I feel after what we've seen here the last couple of days.
Hardy takes off for third. They ignore him. 1-2 now on Davis. I think were they in, you'd like their chances just based on the pitching as much as anybody else's. I think now that Detroit is in, if Max Scherzer is healthy, they can run Verlander and Scherzer out there 1-2. Valverde on the back end. And that lineup, I think they're dangerous.
I would agree with you, partner. The Tigers, if they get it working, could certainly run the table. But, you know, it's as wide open to me as any year right now in the American League. Nothing would really surprise me, especially when you consider how hot the A's have been down the stretch, even with all their injuries to their pitching staff. CC Sabathia has started to pitch like CC Sabathia his last few starts, so they're looking better. And the Texas Rangers, despite having an awful last week of the season, there's still no denying the talent they possess. And that certainly wouldn't shock any of us to see them go on a run.
So you like everybody?
Well, I would still be surprised if the Baltimore Orioles ran through and won a series or two. That would be the one team that would surprise me, especially when you consider Chris Tillman, who's been their best pitcher, went today. He's not going to be available if they were to get past the play-in game. But beyond that, nothing would surprise me in the American League.
Two-two, Peralta to Davis. He's outside. If Davis could reach, they'd get the tying run in the on-deck circle, and you'd probably see Fernando Rodney in the game. It would become a save situation. Adam Jones on deck, then Matt Wieters. I think, again, they're doing the right thing. If it's a save situation, put Rodney in the game. We were talking with Joe Madden before the game tonight. Said it was very important to the organization to win 90 games for the third year in a row, the fourth time in 5 years.
And he also talked about the integrity of the game and the importance to play it all out, to play it straight for the rest of the league. He owes that to not only the league, but to Buck Showalter and the Orioles.
Right three, right down the middle. Davis took a fastball at 91 miles per hour for the first out of the ninth.
We're going to see some of that command that we were talking about. Painting this outside corner with that fastball, perfectly placed. I think Chris Davis, in the back of his mind, was positive he was going to get that splitter, Aaron, that you talked about, and he's walking back to the dugout with that same thought.
Well, the Yankees score changed because Curtis Granderson has hit his second home run of the night. Solo home run to make it 10-2 Yankees. That gives Granderson 43 home runs, tied with Josh Hamilton, one behind Miguel Cabrera.
Well, guys, it's certainly not the way the Baltimore Orioles wanted to finish the season, looking like they're going to lose 2 out of 3 and really struggling offensively in this final series against the Tampa Bay Rays. But there is good news. The toughest pitching you're going to see goes home tonight, and it's only going to get easier from here. So this Oriole offense can at least take solace in some of that. But any way you slice it, an outstanding season for not only the Orioles, but the Rays, who are going home.
The Orioles going to the playoffs for the first time in 15 years. 10 more Oriole batters, 10 more strikeouts tonight after they fanned 15 times against James Shields last night. Routine fly to center for Thompson. Hardy tags and comes to the plate. Well, the Orioles avoid being shut out. It's 4-1, but now they are down to their final out.
You know, Sean, for my final thought during the regular season this year, I want to applaud the Rays. I mean, it's, as you mentioned, the third straight year they've won 90 or more games, the fourth year in the last 5 that they've done it, and they're also one of 4 teams with a winning record in each of the last 5 years. So, guys, they've had a lot more good nights here than bad.
And it looks like they may be stalling here to get Fernando Rodney into this ball game one last time. You know, they're stewing over it right now.
I wouldn't do it now. It's not a safe situation. And, you know, why throw him in there, run the risk that he gives up a run, and then he blows the record for relief ERA. Joe Maddon's not showing any signs of budging. The crowd wants him. They want to see him one more time. Good news for them is they have him under contract for next year. So Rodney will be back. He was voted the Rays MVP by the Tampa Bay chapter of the Baseball Writers of America. He said this year was the most fun he's had in baseball. Disappointed they didn't make the playoffs like the rest of his teammates, but what a year it was for Fernando Rodney.
I know it's been done, guys. We've all heard about it. If I'm Peralta right now, I might just walk him.
To get Rodney into the game.
Get him in, get him one more save,
situation.
give the crowd everything they want, and then go pack your bag and go home.
Well, I think now Joe Maddon will probably make the move. Tying run in the on-deck circle. It's a save situation. Wieters has his first hit of the night. And here he comes, and the crowd loves it. Joe's trying to suppress a smile. He agonized when we visited with him before the game. He said, I don't know if I put Rodney in the game. He has the record. I don't want to see him squander it. On the other hand, I want to do the right thing for him and for the team, for the integrity of the game and its impact on the division race, which is probably no longer in play, and the wild card situation. The fans got their wish. As Fernando Rodney will pitch one last time this season. Chance to make that historically low ERA just a little bit better when he faces Jim Thome.
Hey, Steven, what kind of tree is that?
Oh, it's my ticket oak. Go say hi.
Hi, Ticket Oak.
Hi, Ben.
Can I get 4 tickets to this weekend's game? What? I love you, Ticket Oak.
I love you too, Ben.
I love you so much.
Not everyone has a Ticket Oak, but everyone can use StubHub. StubHub, where do you want to sit?
Up. A short word that's a tall order. Up your game. Up the ante. And if you stumble, you get back up. Up isn't easy, and we ought to know. We're in the business of up. Every day, Delta flies 250,000 people while investing billions improving everything from booking to baggage claim. We're raising the bar on flying, and tomorrow, we will up it yet again.
Do you ever wish I could magically appear in your home with a can of paint? With HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams? I almost can. I love the designer-inspired collections. Not only are the paint colors amazing, they're designed to work with each other, so your whole home comes together beautifully. And with their new exterior paint, your home will look just as good on the outside. It'll be HGTV worthy. Visit your local Sherwin-Williams store today to get started.
Sean McDonough, Aaron Boone, Rick Sutcliffe, Tim Kirkchin back at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Final game of the season for the Tampa Bay Rays, trying to earn their 90th win And here's Fernando Rodney, certainly a Cy Young candidate with these numbers, only 2 blown saves, and in one of them there was a big error that led to a blown lead. Historically low ERA of 0.61, just a fraction lower than Dennis Eckersley for the all-time lowest relief mark by a relief pitcher with 50 innings minimum pitched in a season. Jim Thome's had good numbers against Rodney, 3 for 10, including a home run. Thome 0 for 3 tonight. He's pondering hanging it up. From what we're told, he hasn't made a decision yet, but it's possible this is the last regular season at bat. That should do it. Sanford has it. That drops Rodney's ERA ever so slightly to 0.60, and he has the record. And Joe Madden has a sigh of relief. Game 162 belongs to Evan Longoria again. That's been the case throughout his major league career. And the Orioles limped into the playoffs with the bats really struggling. 4-1 the final. Hits were 6-3. Hellickson got the win, Tillman the loss, and Rodney his 48th save. Now for Aaron Boone, Rick Sutcliffe, Tim Kirsch, and Sean McDonough saying so long. Let's send you back to Carl Ravitch and John Kruk.
Sean, thank you very much. Welcome to our Baseball Tonight studios. What we had for excitement in the last night of the last regular season, we didn't exactly have that tonight, but we certainly did have some drama going into the day and the night. Now we know that the Yankees, barring some ridiculous comeback, in fact, it doesn't matter because the Orioles lost, will be the American League East Division champions.
Yes, and
the best record. Yeah, the #1 seed in the American League.
They will host.
And the A's, of course, win the American League West. Tonight didn't play out the way the Orioles wanted it to, but they are going to now head to Texas. We're going to head back to St. Pete. That's where Tim Kirkshin is. Tim Kirkshin standing by with Adam Jones in what has been obviously a terrific year for Jones as well as the Orioles. Tim?
Adam, how good was their pitching in this series?
Their pitching was huge. You know, I think a lot of respect goes out to the Rays, Joe Madden and the Rays, because, you know, they were out of it, I guess, after the first game here, but they didn't stop. You know, they kept going. The last 2 pitchers, Hellickson and Shields, they gave it all they had. And you got to give respect because they could have laid down, but they didn't. They went out there and gave it their best, and, you know, that's what we can appreciate. But, you know, we got some things to work on. In the last couple of days we didn't hit, and we just got to get back to it, get them bats back on where they've been.
How has the road changed now that you're going to Texas to play a wild card game instead of going home?
Well, it really doesn't matter. We got to play a game. You know, we're in it. We got an important game against Texas now. I didn't know how the scenarios worked. I knew we were playing somebody, but, you know, we got to go out in Texas and play our game and get this W no matter what.
This team is completely unflappable. It has been all year. Going on the road for a difficult game like this, you've seen stuff like this before. How much does affecting adversity help you guys here?
Well, adversity is all part of, I think, making it to the big leagues and being successful. You know, you overcome a lot, and right now we just have to go out and play our game. You know, Texas hasn't been playing their game as best they could, but they're going to be ready on Friday. I know that for sure, and I know they're going to throw Darvish, and they're going to be on their A game. The same for us. We have to be on our A game, or we won't pass on.
Adam, thank you. Carl, back to you.
Tim, thank you. And, Joe, when you think about the Rangers and the Orioles now set to meet in that wild card game, Texas 5-2 against the Orioles this season. Just quickly before we get to the Yankees, he touched on trying to find the offense again, the bats. Is that more about Tampa's pitching, or is it about the bats?
Well, Tampa's pitching was pretty
good.
Phenomenal in this series. James Shields was unbelievable, and Hellickson was as good tonight as far as, you know, keeping runners off base and keeping hits off the board. Yeah, they're going to struggle. They're struggling right now coming in. But you have to see what Oakland did to the Texas Rangers pitching. So the Rangers pitching hasn't been phenomenal either. Right. But the Rangers are scoring runs, so this could be one of those, you know, blowout, 10-9 wild card games. Could be fun, though.
Orioles finished this regular season 93-69, and you can just sense there's kind of a deflated feeling about them. They'll re-engage that on this flight, and once they get to Texas, assuming they find hotel rooms, because they're apparently struggling to do that.
They can stay at Buck's house.
They'll deal with the Rangers, and that'll be the wild card game on Friday. All right, the New York Yankees began the night knowing that they controlled their own playoff destiny. If they won, they were East champions. They had a good matchup. They had Kuroda on the mound against Matsuzaka. But just like last night, they fell behind 1-0. And just like last night, they ended up killing the Red Sox.
Well, they're a veteran offensive team who's not going to panic because they get behind in a crucial game. That's just the Yankees.
Cabrera's going to win the Triple Crown, but the guy who gave him the most chase as the home run race goes turned out to be this guy.
Yeah, unbelievable to see. His batting average is down. He's not that 280 hitter that he has the potential to be, but 40 homers.
40-plus homers for Curtis Granderson. Robinson Cano's the hottest hitter now on the planet, hotter than Trout, hotter than Cabrera. He has, over his last 9 games, batted about 600.
Is that good?
It's tremendous.
Yes, it is.
It's MVP category stuff. And Alex Rodriguez got into the act in a 5-1 game as he legs out a double into the corner.
Power's down for Alex Rodriguez, but, this is what he has to be now, a gap hitter.
If you were looking for a team, though, to build confidence against going into the playoffs, this is the perfect team to do it right now.
Yeah, it is. And again, the Yankees know when to dial it up and get to where they need to be. And now they're there. They're the #1 seed in the American League. And I think you're going to see a deep run in the postseason.
You'll see. You got Pettit healthy and rested. You get Sabathia healthy and rested. So we now know, and given all the potential disaster scenarios that we had with extra games and rainouts, none of them existed. It is now as scripted here with the understanding that the Orioles will play the Rangers Friday at 8:37. The A's and Tigers will meet at 6:07. People will recognize that even though you won divisions, you're on the road for the first 2 games, and that will change next year. That's going to be the sort of rub the first couple of days of this postseason. But it all worked out. We didn't have any of those doomsday scenarios present themselves.
They're not 163 third game.
Is that amazing?
And we thought we were going to have a few of them. But
with weather, nothing.
Everything held up. We thought yesterday maybe New York, there might be some issues with the rain. It did rain a lot during that game, but they got it in. Yeah, Bud Selig right now is sitting back in his chair, and he's wiping his brow. He's wiping the sweat off his brow, thinking, okay, we've made it through. Now let's continue this thing in the postseason.
And he's also saying, you guys all worried about these things. Let's just play it out.
He didn't worry.
He would.
Come on.
Well, he probably did a little bit, but all right. So the big story of the day was the Texas and Oakland series. This came down to game 162. You knew there would be no 163 for these two teams because they're deadlocked to the last game of the season. And Texas was bringing their offense here early on against A.J. Griffin. Beltre delivered 1-1 game. Michael Young shoots one into the corner and right. And this was about the point where you're like, okay, Texas is showing.
Yeah, here they go. Here comes the offense. They're going to score 10, and this is going to be over. They're going to win the West.
Kicked up some chalk. The right field line turned out to be the big line in this game. Reddick fields that one, but he bobbles it, and a couple of runs come in for Texas.
Have to do that, isn't he?
So bobble one every now and then. Mike Napoli in a 4-1 game. Hits one sky high.
And this is when you thought, all right, the wheels are coming off Oakland in this game. Go prepare for the wild card. If you can't give Texas this offense opportunities.
You wouldn't think, but the same way the A's struggled in the field later in the game, the Rangers would. 5-1 third inning. It feels like having a 13-game deficit on the 30th of June. Like you can't come back, but you can.
Yes, they can, and they do, and they, look, a lot of things that go with youth. Mistakes and I don't care that you're ahead of us because we know we're good.
The ambivalence, ambivalence to what is really going on.
Confident cocky, because these guys aren't cocky players. They don't trash talk. They don't do any of that stuff. They play baseball, and that's beautiful.
So the serious nature of not playing the wild card, Derek Holland comes in for the Rangers in relief. Like, we don't want to lose this game.
Yeah, we don't want to be the wild card. We don't want no part of a one-game, win or go home situation this early in the postseason.
And I mentioned the right field line. That's where Coco Crisp went. Here's the high fly that the Rangers don't catch. It's Hamilton.
Well, we saw games last week where in Oakland, or last few games in Oakland, fly balls during day games is a difficult thing in dead center field. Coco Chris had some struggle. He made plays. But, this is one right there. I don't know if it was the sun or he just whiffed on it.
It looked like a whiff, and Ron is like, what happened? The blue eyes, the sunshine, the shades, it didn't go well. Hamilton said after, you guys don't understand. We get paid to forget things like that, so he's going to try. In the meantime, the A's are scoring more runs in front of 32,000.
Yeah, and, the Rangers, you can't give them extra opportunities. But these guys, Oakland, they feed off this stuff. They're, to me, the most fun team in the playoffs right now to watch.
7th inning, big spot. Mike Napoli, 2 on. He's gone. Cook's been solid for the A's the last couple of days.
Some emotion coming out of there now, and that bullpen, too.
Here's
but
more.
There's also some emotion. There's also 95 and 97.
You saw Cook. You saw Doolittle. Balfour now in the 9th, 2 outs. Got Michael Young to chase. 2 days ago, they had a massive celebration and dance party. Here they go again. The Oakland A's win the West.
Party in Oaktown, boys.
13 games out, June 30th. They win the West. The Rangers are a wild card team. Your 2-time defending American League champion Rangers are a wild card team. 94 and 68. Really, 94 and 68 for the A's.
Never would have guessed.
You couldn't have. You couldn't have two weeks ago guessed that this roll down the end would continue. The names of the players that you see. Scribner comes in and gets the win in 3
innings in relief when the Rangers were swinging the bats as good as they could swing it.
This is not a team that, like Mark Mulder said when he played on the A's and they won a division title in '06, built on this concept of take your pitches, walk a lot, on base. This team strikes out a lot.
Yep.
They kill the ball. They hit home runs.
Yep.
They'll make mistakes in the field.
Yep.
They'll bunt every now and then. What else about Oakland should people start paying attention to?
They know how to play baseball. Yes, they make mistakes, but every team makes mistakes. And, probably the Yankees are the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. But this team, to me, when you watch them play enough games, is they're not afraid. They love being up in key situations. You watch the Spettas, you watch Reddick.
Right.
Guys like, they revel in this. They might make an out, but it's not a bothersome. They don't care because they know that someone else is going to pick them up. To me, they're the team that trusts the most of their guys behind them. And you got to give Chili Davis a lot of credit with that, the hitting coach, because, the whole mantra with them was let's take walks, let's work the counts. Now they're getting first pitch fastball, and they're wailing on it. And I think it's taken some teams by surprise. They're not going to surprise people next year with that approach.
Right.
But this year, for some reason, it seems like to take a year for other teams to say, whoa, wait a second, they're aggressive now.
Right.
They're swinging at pitches. They're a great aggressive team. They run the bases with recklessness, and they put pressure on the other team, and they have to because talent-wise, there's other teams that are more talented than them in the postseason.
Right.
But not many that play as good as them as a team.
Great chemistry, good mix. Coco Crisp was a name you didn't bring up, and boy, did he come through with big plays. And he's got that sort of presence of someone who's been there before and done it. Bob Elvin's been there before, but never done it quite like this with the A's.
It's been pretty amazing. I mean, the record alone, the last, 70 games or so has been off the charts.
We had a feeling from day one that we could compete with anybody, and it feels great to show that we can actually do that.
Well, in game 162, I think it's a little way to check the character of this team. It took us 162 to get where we're at, and at the end of the day, we're walking out of here with a pennant. It's pretty special.
Yeah, Johnny Gomes, who during the summer had his Little League team play at the Little League World Series. That was Petaluma, California. He became very big in that area. He, of course, is from that area, and now he's going to the playoffs with the team that plays in the area that he grew up in. Most games behind for an eventual first-place team. Well, the A's right here in 2012, I mentioned that 13 back on June 30th. In 78, of course, that Yankee comeback and the collapse in 1914. The Braves trailed by 15 on July 4th. One of only 3 teams to actually be in first place on the last day of the season for the first time. They'd never been in first place all year. And in fact, the Rangers had been in first place since early in the season and finally relinquished it on the final day of the season. So what does Texas feel about this game and moving forward?
The biggest thing when there's a high fly ball like that in and you're running hard for it, when you get there, you need to break down soft so the ball's not moving on you or anything like that. And I didn't do that. I continued running basically at the same speed, and you know, didn't catch it. I mean, just missed it. So off the tip of the glove, and, you know, no excuse for it, but it happened.
We got thoroughly beat by a team, like I said, that was very hot, and they continue to be hot. They earned it. We just didn't.
The biggest thing for us is just move passes. You have to. Can't hang our heads. We don't feel. Nobody over there feels sorry for us, and nobody in this league feels sorry for us. We gotta not feel sorry for ourselves.
I don't think a lot of people are going to feel bad for a Texas team that obviously has the ability to score a ton of runs when they're playing well. But it's a little hard to explain. We get the Angel thing with Trout, and their pitching kind of showed up. But to go 43-40 in July all the way to today and see the A's at 57-20, I don't get that.
I don't either, because their offense is so good that they should be able to just beat teams with their offense on occasion when their starting pitching doesn't show up. But, you know, they have flaws this year for some reason. And to me, I don't know if it's because they played so deep in the past two World Series that it's starting to catch up to them this late in the season. You know, and that's what makes the Yankees run so special, what Derek Jeter's done all those years in the postseason, going to World Series. You don't know how draining it is mentally to get into the postseason, get to a World Series, especially how they lost it last year. And, you know, 1 out away from winning it, and then, of course, they lose the Game 7 because of David Freese. But, yeah, I think this whole thing has caught up to them, and the mental fatigue has gotten so far greater than the physical fatigue for them. And right now they're playing like a team that has just lost their way.
There was a time during the season where they were playing so great, then they went into a lull, and we had a conversation on this show, and then we saw Ron Washington when we did the Ranger game. There was, at some point, almost boredom that set in for this team. They were so good. I heard Rick say to Aaron Boone, you said they were the most complete team, and boredom sometimes set in. A concept that's really hard to understand for athletes, but this is a long season. It couldn't have happened late in the season.
I don't know how boredom can set in. Winning is not boring. I mean, you know, hey, ask some of the bad teams. Ask Houston how bored that season was for them this year. You know, that's boring when you know you're going to the ballpark, you can't compete. This team, though, I think sometimes the team is so talented and they're so good.
And they weren't being challenged.
And they weren't being challenged. So, maybe, you know, sometimes I think teams like that will just say, okay, if we just throw our gloves out there, it's good enough, we'll get by today. And it just didn't happen. And then it started snowballing. And now, the second half of the season, you know, teams aren't fearing them right now like they did the last couple years.
Funny, we did that game. They played against, it was the Red Sox then, but Ron Washington said, be careful for the A's, because the A's are a dangerous club because they actually think they're good. Now they do more than think. They know that they're good as they win the American League West. That's an incredible story. The A's win in the West. All right, the other great story this year on an individual level as well as a team level, Miguel Cabrera, John. He was very much in line to win the Triple Crown, a season-long accomplishment. This isn't like a 1 week or 1 month deal.
It wasn't an award.
This is a full body of work that you earn.
Yeah, it's not like someone just gives you this at the end of the year and say, wow, congratulations.
There's nothing subjective about it.
No.
You win the home run race, you win the batting average
There's no votes on this one.
and you win the RBI race. In the game against Kansas City, it was apparently his decision to play. Leland said, I'll do whatever Miguel wants to. Miguel gets taken out of the game in the 4th inning, twice the size of Ramon Santiago, so he moves to the bench, 0 for 2 on the night, but with the Triple Crown in his crosshairs. He ends up hitting .330. He ends up with 44 home runs. He ends up with a career high in home runs and runs batted in, 139. Closest guy to him for a while was Hamilton. Granderson ends up with 42 home runs. Hamilton stops at 43. And it's a simple one to hang your hat on when you say, sure, the guy won the Triple Crown. That hasn't been done in almost half a century, 45 years. You can't argue with these numbers. And I don't think anybody is arguing with those numbers.
No, because, you know, he hasn't had as many home runs as many RBIs, but he's hit higher than 330. Yep. This can't be a typical season for him because he won the Triple Crown, but it's not a surprising season because he has that ability. I remember when he was 19 years old and he was in the middle, just getting called up by the Marlins, the Florida Marlins, and I was in Philadelphia visiting with Ozzie Guillen, who was the third base coach for the Marlins. I said, who's this guy? And he said, this guy's going to be the best hitter in baseball in a few years. Mark my words. I'm like, get out of here. Young kid, 19 years old. How can you say that? He goes, just watch. And lo and behold, the genius that Ozzie is, he is right now the best hitter in baseball, and he has been for probably the last couple of years.
A lot of people go back to when it was Clemens in the postseason who drilled him. He got back up, or at least buzzed him.
Yeah.
He got back up.
Hit a bomb.
And got the big hit in that World Series. When you think, go ahead.
No fear.
He does not have a lot of fear. And now that he's the size that he is, there's never any fear. I think that's one thing you notice about, you guys talk about his balance. It doesn't matter if you come inside on him. He seems not to want to move. He's
and
so
the great thing
comfortable.
is he can hit the inside pitch both ways, and most guys can't. If you pitch a guy in, he has to hit it one way or he's getting jammed and breaking his bat and hitting a blooper somewhere. Miguel Cabrera can do damage from on hitting it both ways on a pitch inside part of the plate.
And I'm not always like the politically correct, let's just be nice and give this award to two guys, but let's be honest. Cabrera's done thing that very few have done, and Trout's put up a season nobody has ever put up. I mean, that's the fact.
Yeah, it is a fact, and that's just why I'm glad I don't have a vote for MVP. I would take Cabrera just because a triple crown's a triple crown. When you lead in those three categories, who's better? Right. But I know that now they take into these defensive metrics and all this stuff, and
which you should. I mean, he's a great baseball player.
But I don't know. I just think what Cabrera did. Not single-handedly putting his team in the postseason, because Prince and Verlander and Delman Young and other guys had some say-so in it. Right. But if he's not in that lineup, they do not make the playoffs.
Right. And WAR is not the single defining factor. Last year, I believe Kemp had a higher WAR than Braun, and Braun won the MVP. We'll see how the AL votes play out once the season ends. Guy who usually shows up on the final night of the regular season did so again. Evan Longoria got the Rays in the playoffs last year.
If I'm the Rays, I'm posting whatever the last day of the season is next year, October 1st, October 2nd. I'm posting it on the calendar above the scoreboard. So he looks up there every day and says, well, it must be the last day. Let me go deep.
Hey, Evan, last night of the regular season.
5 home runs the last 2 days of the regular season.
Pretty special. He went yard here to center field over the head of Adam Jones. All the while, the Orioles are looking at the scoreboard. They're losing. The Yankees are killing the Red Sox. Buck Showalter.
Told our guys how proud I am, and just to be associated with this bunch. They're a baseball playing bunch of guys that they'll let it rip in Texas, and it won't be from tenderness. I can tell you that.
Look, you've talked about this huge resiliency all year, losing 2 or 3 here. I mean, do you have any doubt that they'll be able to forget about this by the time they get?
Did we lose 2 out of 3? We did. So we've already forgot. No, it's they got great pitching, and they got so many weapons, and we pitch well too. We pitched a little better than they did last night. Well, I don't know. You can make a case for that not being the case, but we pitched real well. I thought Tilly threw the ball pretty well. There just wasn't much margin for error, but the guys are ready. They've worked very hard to have this opportunity.
Look, how empty is the feeling?
Empty is the feeling?
Is there any at all?
Oh, not at all. No, heavens no. We knew that the game tonight in New York was a real long shot, but it didn't. And there was some advantage to being able to win regardless. And no, I don't think that's a word that even come close to describing our locker room right now. They're looking forward to the opportunity and head down to Texas and play. And it's a tough road, however you do it. It's a challenge. We feel real good about the opportunity that we have earned by being one of the X number of teams left. How many is it now? 10, 15, 26? 5 in our league? So 1 of 5 in a pretty good league.
Buck, did you see any evidence that the guys have been progressing the last couple of nights of the play?
No, I saw evidence of real good pitching. We shouldn't feel like Tampa's picking on us. They got, 2 guys, some people would tell you 3 people worthy of the Cy Young Award. So I don't feel like they were picking on us. It's this time of year when pitching's on top of his game and hitters are on top of their game, pitching wins. And that's when people say it's not about pitching. Trust me, the people that are playing this time of year starting Friday, it's because of their pitching. That's a common denominator.
I was just going to say, facing this team and then going into the playoffs, it's almost like facing, obviously, pitching for Rams. In any way, does that help you gear up for it?
Well, I hope it doesn't, it'd be hard, but, I'm not sure who they've decided on. We haven't even looked into that, but I think it's Darvish. So there's another guy that, very obvious about what they, what they were willing to commit to him. They really like the return. So we'll have our work cut out for us.
What do you think of the play-in? What do you think of the play-in idea? Is this enough of a reward for a team that had a great year like your team had? Do you think you'll be on one of these?
Yeah, we could also win one game. So I'm looking at it half full. We got an opportunity, and it's there for us in 9 innings, and it's there for Texas, and that's what makes it so intriguing for you and others to talk about. I'll let y'all evaluate it. It's not like they changed the rules October 1st. Everybody knew them some point this offseason. So it shouldn't surprise anybody. It's what happens through the years, whether it's wild card or whether it's interleague. It's about what the powers to be feel like enhances the fans' love of our game. And if that's the case, then so be it. That's why I'm hoping instant replay enhances their love of the game even more as we go forward.
Besides Saunders, Buck, are you looking at just one other guy, or do you have a couple?
Yeah, we just got a couple options. What, Timmy?
You talked so much about wanting to get a playoff game in Baltimore. Was it?
We still have that opportunity yet. Okay, we play. It's like the guy on the first tee that wants a bunch of strokes and handicap. I tell them they don't ever ask for strokes from me, but I say play better. We play well Friday night, enough to win a game. That's in our hands. It's not somebody else controlling it. What, Timmy?
The Friday show.
All right, here's your playoff update. As Buck paid attention at that point to Tim Kirkshin.
How can you not?
Yeah. Orioles at the Rangers Friday, 8:37 Eastern Time. The winner of the Orioles-Rangers game will face the Yankees in a 5-game set. That will start on Sunday. And it's the A's and the Tigers. So Verlander's going to start. You heard Buck sort of imply he thought Darvish was going to start for the Rangers, and the Orioles have a variety of options. He didn't commit to anybody. Could be Wei Yi Chen, maybe Britton. We'll see where they go. And look what the cat has dragged in here. And it's a big cat that dragged in a big guy here. So are you Chapman? Like, who are you? You're the closer. Are you Rodney right now?
Depends. I'm having to pick up a lot right now, so.
You are. Did you shoot the arrow?
I shot the arrow.
All right, there it is. So Kurt Schilling joins us here, get some perspective here. Let me see the shoot one more time. Okay, nobody followed it like they did in Tampa. But
you should be Carlos Pena. Come on over here and join me.
I heard it later in the show.
Yeah.
Give us your sort of overall thoughts of what happened today, whether you want to go with the American League. Let's start with the American League. You want to go with the A's? What's the big story today?
Well, I don't know. But I'm disappointed that the Orioles are going to have to play one game. I think the guy that was on the mound tonight was the guy they would have liked to have had for game one of a best of 5. I like where he's at, where he's going, where he's throwing.
Tillman.
It is what it is. I mean, these teams are now, they know what they're doing. The Rangers and the Orioles know exactly what's in front of them, and everybody's known this is why you want to win the division. But I would imagine they'll go. My guess would be Chen would get the start. But, I've known Buck, you don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how he builds his roster for one game, because you can build your roster as a series. This one game is a series, to see how he builds this roster to win a 9-inning game.
You suggested, and I know we didn't get into it last night on the show, that you would build with a lot of bullpen pieces. You'd get one starter, maybe a long reliever or 2 starters. I asked Buck that today, and he confirmed what you had said. That's how he would do it, too. So expect to see a lot of bullpen arms.
Yeah, you go with the starting pitcher, you go with the emergency guy in case somebody gets sick or he gets hurt. First inning, you got to go to him. And you can literally build a bullpen of 5 lefties and 5 righties and do matchups from the 6th inning to the 9th inning if you have the arms to do that.
And Texas can do that, too.
Josh Hamilton will probably not face a right-handed pitcher from the 5th inning on if the game's close.
But here's the thing. After what happened, I'm sick to my stomach that happened, because that was the season. I thought that drop ended up changing that game. That game ended because he dropped that ball.
The A's-Rangers
game. Right, and he did what you want any good teammate to do, which was, listen, I just made a mistake. He meant, watch out for this guy in the one-game playoff, because to me, when guys that are otherworldly talented have a chip, and he's got a chip now, because if they lose this game, people are going to talk about that error for a long time.
All right. The Yankee game, of course, being seen on ESPN in many parts of the country. They lead the Red Sox 14-2. That game's in the bottom of the 8th. It has gone from bad to worse. Meantime, in the bottom of the 8th inning of this game, Cincinnati and St. Louis, 0-0 there in the bottom of the 8th inning. A little bonus coverage here as we continue our baseball tonight.
And the Dodgers lost late last night to make the Cardinals the winner, and they had the final game to play this afternoon, and they beat San Francisco behind Kershaw. That could have been a mess. The Cardinals were going to have to fly to LA and then win that game, then fly to Atlanta, cross country to Atlanta, win that game, and then come back and start the series. So things a little easier with their travel, just knowing that they're going to Atlanta.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Hit out of play.
2-2 the count on Chambers. Broxton records a strikeout to start the bottom of the 8th. Subway surprise on the line. A look at the Central. So Cincinnati. 10-game lead.
We've already taken them right out of the National League, haven't we? Houston.
See you later.
They're gone. Throw them out after 50 years.
I believe Houston and Chicago played each other today. Wrapped up their season against each other.
Chicago won 5-4.
Ooh, off of Broxton. Robinson hustling and safe at first. Beats it out. That would be the worst nightmare there for Cincinnati, to see one of their top relievers come into a game that's meaningless for them and get hurt. And Dusty said, yep, that's it. Seen enough. And he'll have a double switch here.
Broxton 300 pounds, and I thought that he got him out, but the call goes Robinson's way, and she said Dusty got scared just seeing that line drive back at
seen enough
one of his pitchers and get him out of there.
You bet.
Yeah, he did pitch last night too, so I mean, wasn't like you needed a little more tune-up for him. Cairo is coming out, so a new second baseman.
So there you go. He's going to go to the bullpen, part of a double switch. We'll tell you about the change when we come back.
Let's get to the National League matchups. It looks like this. Cardinals at the Braves Friday at 5 o'clock Eastern time. The winner of the Cardinal-Braves series will face the Nats, who, in spite of however this game ends up, and of course Washington finishes the regular season at 98-64. The Reds could do the same, but the Nats are the overall #1 seed. The Reds are going to San Francisco Saturday at 9:37 Eastern time. So this one is set. Cardinals are feeling pretty good about themselves, but obviously the Medlin factor in Atlanta kind of changes the way you feel about Atlanta, doesn't it?
I don't know. You know, this is
Chris Medlin. They haven't lost when he starts.
He's never pitched in a postseason game.
All right.
And that, to me, the X factor is, I would tell you that if I look back on my postseason career, the one game that I'll always regret was the first World Series start I ever had. It was I went in there, it was a World Series. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I literally told myself I was going to pitch backwards. I was going to do the opposite of what I had done because, hey, it's the World Series and everybody knows what I do and everybody's going to know my tendencies, and you come to find out it's just a game in front of a lot more people. And I don't, not that he's going to do that. My biggest piece of advice to Chris Medlin was do the things you've done the entire season for this game. Right. And that, as a young pitcher, that's kind of hard sometimes to do that.
And the catcher has a lot to do with that. A catcher can slow him down. A catcher can make him take a breath. I tell people, my experience of the World Series, playing in the World Series was, you know, every once in a while the game gets in front of you and you get ahead of it, or you get behind the game and it's going so fast, your head starts spinning. You're like, what the heck's going on here? Have I ever played this game before? Take a step back, take a deep breath. That's where McCann or Ross, whoever's going to catch him, has to help him out through this game. If he gets ahead of himself, tries to overthrow, rein him in, tell him this is how you pitch. You know, Greg Maddux, 88 to 90, hit your spots, change speed, you'll be fine.
How much more difficult is it to do it when somebody tells you to do it? Like,
well,
you remember your
again,
first...
I don't know him, so I don't know.
But your experience in your first playoff game, was it going fast?
My first playoff game, it was the game in my life. It was what I was born to do. Okay. And I had the ball in my hand, and I'm standing on the mound thinking, "There's no way, no one can hit me." Right. No, and then it proved to not be true. But the point is that the energy I fed off that. That fear of failure was so motivating for me, especially when the October rolled around.
Well, maybe that's the case here for Chris Medlin as well. All right, before we continue here, and we will have more baseball tonight, we want to take you out to Yankee Stadium. That's where the Red Sox and Yankees are wrapping up their game. The Yankees will be the American League East champions.
Ninth inning here in the Bronx. Dan Schulman, Terry Francona, Oral Hershiser, Buster Olney. A 14-2 lead for the Yankees over the Red Sox. They've already clinched the East, and they are 3 outs away from clinching the best record of the top seed in the American League playoffs. And obviously with this lead, It's looking pretty comfortable right now. We'd like to welcome those of you who were watching the Orioles and the Rays over on ESPN2. Tampa Bay defeating Baltimore, sending the Orioles to the wild card game against the Rangers Friday night in Arlington. It has been an impressive performance for the Yankees tonight. 2 home runs and 6 RBIs for Robinson Cano. 2 home runs and 4 RBIs for Curtis Granderson. 7 strong innings for Hiroki Kuroda. And now Freddie Garcia to work the 9th inning and officially end the regular season for the Yankees and send them on to the division series, which for them will begin Sunday on the road. Winner on the left, slugger on the right.
When you win the division by 1 game, the guy on the mound was a pretty important piece. 7-6 from a veteran, 100 innings. That guy on the mound tonight was outstanding. His over 212 innings, creeping up to 220.
And looking like with some days off now, the Yankees can set up their pitching as they would like, and you would imagine it would be Sabathia in game 1, Pettit in game 2, and Kuroda in game 3.
Or Kuroda in game 2 if you want to break up the lefties.
I actually love the idea of backing up a lefty with another lefty. I know you hear people say, well, you get guys comfortable, but I think you force the opposing team to sometimes play a guy they don't want to, because the manager doesn't want to sit a guy 2 games in a row.
Right. Phil Hughes in the middle there, the possible game 4 starter.
If they start on the road against Baltimore and start on the road against Oakland.
Texas.
Or Texas, thank you. Still clearing up.
Thank you for saying that.
I tell you what.
It's been going right by me the whole night.
I'll tell you when to meet me in the lobby, and I'll tell you where we're going. How's that?
You guys may see me where you're supposed to be going.
That might have been why they put Tito in studio. They just thought, we can't figure out where to send him.
Well, you're not kidding.
ESPN Radio bringing you all the playoff action beginning Friday. Oral and I will be down in Arlington for the Orioles-Rangers wild card game as Saltalamacchia strikes out.
If you got to play Texas in Texas the first 2 games, the jet stream's blown out to right. Better to put a lefty on the mound. Baltimore, you hit it out anywhere there. They don't need a jet stream.
So you wind up with the best record in your league, and your reward may be, depending on who wins the wild card game, maybe playing 2 games on the road at Texas. Granted, not playing great right now, but still as talented as any team in baseball. 2-time defending American League champions.
Or an interdivision rival in Baltimore and got to go there to start it.
But, and I agree with what you guys are saying or alluding to, but they get to set up their pitching.
Yep.
And for me, that's the most important aspect of anything.
No question. Joe Girardi and company might take tomorrow off, you would imagine. Maybe have a workout here on Friday and then fly Saturday morning to wherever they have to go. Lavarnway's gone 2 down. 1 more out to make it official. Ivan De Jesus, the batter. There will be a lot for the Red Sox to decide in the next few days and in the next few months about the composition of their coaching staff and their team. The Yankees will move on to more immediate, more exciting things heading to the postseason again. They celebrated a little bit when the Oriole game went final, but they'll celebrate again when this one is done. And they're a strike away. The New York Yankees have clinched the best record in the American League, top seed throughout the AL playoffs. Earlier tonight, after the Orioles loss, they were officially crowned American League East Division champions. For the Boston Red Sox, a very difficult, tumultuous season is finally over. They lose 93 games. The Yankees win 95 games. And as you can see, they will open up on the road for the first 2 games at either Baltimore or Texas on a Sunday.
That game is over, and Cano, you saw there, in the midst of one of the hottest streaks of his career. So the Yankees are set to play on Sunday. They'll wait for the wild card winner, Orioles and Rangers. Want to let everyone know here on this network, SportsCenter is going to begin. We're going to have baseball tonight on ESPN. ESPN2 for SportsCenter. Baseball tonight here.
This is SportsCenter.
Most years in Major League Baseball, you don't have anybody with a realistic chance.
Fly ball deep left field. Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera has a legitimate chance to become the first Triple Crown winner since Carl Yastrzemski in 1967.
There's none better. There's not even close to him.
The swing is perfect.
If I had to pick one player to send to the plate, I would pick Miguel Cabrera.
I've never been in this position now.
On a historic day in baseball, we welcome you into SportsCenter. I'm Doug Kazarian alongside Bram Weinstein.
It's been a wild day for Miguel Cabrera, who actually went out, took the field, put the Triple Crown at risk, and came out on top anyway. He is a Triple Crown winner, first time since 1967. Carl Yastrzemski, who you heard referenced in the montage before we came on the air, said he couldn't believe it took so long because Frank Robinson had won it the year before that he won it. It happened 9 times in the period of time between 1922 and 1967, and it took 45 years again. So Miguel Cabrera is your Triple Crown winner, first time in a long time. And these are the final numbers. This is how it ended up. Curtis Granderson made things really interesting tonight in the Bronx and the way the Yankees were going. All of a sudden, this was somewhat in play. He needed to hit 4 home runs to actually pass Miguel Cabrera. Had a couple of them. Josh Hamilton was kept in the park in his final game. The RBI series was not really all that close, and Miguel Cabrera held off Mike Trout to win the batting title, a Triple Crown winner. Let's get some perspective. Here's Carl.
In this year, as Paul Pierce said, the only thing that's going to make him happy at the end of this season is holding up the championship trophy. With the Celtics, George Smith, ESPN.
Lots more to talk about with the Celtics, and you can check it all out. ESPNBoston.com, so log on.
If you build it, they will come. You never heard that before, have you? When it comes to bringing the NFL back to Southern California, fans here have heard it all before. Well, here's what they heard when a deal signed to build a football stadium in downtown Los Angeles. Farmers Field, it already has a name, will be built pretty much right next to the Staples Center, if you're familiar with the area. As for the they will come part, well, NFL teams cannot publicly commit until after the season.
Granderson skies one, gone.
Donaldson's got it, side retired. The turbo zone for the Beast, and look at the joy. Hey, you want joy? You can't beat SportsCenter's top 10 plays. Don't let that remote control steal your joy. And what a thrilling final day of the regular season in baseball. Coming up, more from Wednesday's clinching victors.
Ball game over, and the Yankees are American League East champions, one step to rule the world.
Western Division, the Oakland A's have shocked the Rangers and the baseball world. Unbelievable.
Miller time. It starts with brothers. Not the ones who share your DNA. The ones you choose. The ones who haven't called you by your real name in years. Who know the full story behind a broken bone, an ill-advised tattoo, or why you have a weakness for women named Jennifer. Add a round of Miller Lite, And you've got Miller Time. Because everything's better over a great beer. A light beer that's never light on taste. It's not just a good time. It's Miller Time.
We're at the bottom of the earth, Patagonia, Chile. This is the first leg of our World Challenge with the Cadillac ATS. This is actually starting to feel real now. This is a perfect place to test the ATS's advanced aerodynamics. We've got crosswinds, tailwinds, headwinds. Aerodynamics is all about keeping the car planted on the road.
You are going to get hit by stuff, so don't freak out. And move out now.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
Hey, man. I'd like to trade this game in.
$9.
$9?
Sorry, but just can only give you $9.
Come on, man.
That's our policy. Sorry.
The game costs 60. No, I don't want a coupon.
Don't get ripped off again. Play games before you buy them with over 8,000 console titles to choose from. Go to GameFly.com, click the joystick, enter game, and get 1 month free.
GameFly, before you buy.
Join now, play hundreds of PC games, and get your first month free. Product shown rated E through M.
You know, like a lot of people, times are tough for Hector and his family. Gas is $4 a gallon. Groceries cost a fortune. So he got a little help. Hector went to MoneyMutual.com. Money Mutual has over 100 short-term lenders who can lend up to $1,000 in as little as 24 hours. Just be 18 or older with a regular income of $800 a month.
When I saw that money in my checking account the very next day, I could finally breathe again.
Go to MoneyMutual.com or call 1-800-555-CASH.
In the chase for the Sprint Cup standings, Brad took over the lead from Jimmy with his win at Dover. Cliff Boyer and Jeff Gordon both moved up 2 spots as the chase heads to Talladega, Sunday at 1 on ESPN. SportsCenter is brought to you by Southern Comfort. Whatever's comfortable.
There are 6 Pac-12 teams in the AP Top 25, and one of those 6 is on ESPN Thursday night when Matt Barkley and USC travel to Utah to take on the Utes. Thursday on ESPN, 6 Pacific, 7 in Salt Lake, 9 Eastern.
Real life intruded on the Athletics celebration after they won the AL West. A's reliever Pat Neshek said on his Twitter account Wednesday that his newborn child died just 23 hours after his birth. And Neshek said he and his wife don't have an explanation about why their son Garrick died. Neshek had been away from the team for the past 2 games for the baby's birth. The Athletics added Neshek in a trade with the Orioles back in August. A's released a statement. Our hearts go out to Pat and Stephanie, and we share in their sorrow of losing their young son. The entire A's organization will keep the Neshek family in our prayers and thoughts as they try to come to grips with this tragic occurrence in their lives. As for the game, earlier on Wednesday, A's and the Rangers, this is how the A's won the AL West title. Yoenis Cespedes with a fly ball. Josh Hamilton can't come up with it. And 2-run score, A's go up 7-5. They were 5 games back with 9 games to play, but they just kept surging. Top 9. They're up 12-5 now. Grant Balfour gets Michael Young. That'll end it. The A's spent exactly 1 day alone in first place in the AL West, but it was the only day that matters. Rangers settle for a wild card. Here's Pedro Gomez.
After 2 straight American League pennants, being in first place for 177 consecutive days, the Texas Rangers fell into a 3-day trance in Oakland. The A's trailed these Rangers by 13 games on June 30th. Now suddenly, the Rangers find themselves in a situation that seemed impossible. A 1-game winner-take-all wild card game on Friday.
They outplayed us, played better than we did. You know, just hands down. They did everything that they needed to do to win ball games, and didn't give up when they were down.
We do have a chance, and we just got to go take advantage of it, and we are capable of taking advantage of it. I mean, we won 93 games. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You're disappointed because you expect doing that you would have a chance to win the division again. It didn't happen, so we just got to move on.
Well, the one thing that we have learned about postseason play is momentum shifts pitch to pitch, especially when you get into the playoffs. It shifts all the time. Pitch to pitch, play to play, hit to hit. So we can get that thing going right back for us in no time.
The Rangers will put their faith in 26-year-old rookie Yu Darvish on Friday. But this is no ordinary rookie. Darvish has extensive postseason experience, anchoring 3 Pacific League championship clubs for the Nippon Ham Fighters in Japan. In Oakland, Pedro Gomez, ESPN.
Coming right up, Wednesday's top 10 plays. So if you're trying to get up and go somewhere, sit down. Top plays coming.
He struck him out.
Zimmerman drills it. It is a homer. When you're hot, you're hot. 6 RBIs on the night for Cano.
Here it is, a groove slightly trans.
Bud Light Lime. It's everything you love about Bud Light with a twist of 100% natural lime flavor. Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling.
Welcome to my morning drive.
Welcome to my corner office.
Welcome to my career path.
Golf Academy of America. Welcome to doing what you love for a living. Earn your college degree and turn your love for golf into a career in golf.
Wow. It's even bigger than I thought.
Welcome to Progressive.
Do you guys insure Airstreams?
Yep. Everything from travel trailers to mega motorhomes. And when your RV is covered, so is your pet.
Perfect. Who wants a picture with Flo?
I do.
Do you mind?
Gotta make sure this is hot. Okay. Everybody say awkward.
Protecting your family fun. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
It's Monday.
167.
And Rick is filled with fantasy football pride from a successful Sunday. So he's feeling pretty good.
Here's your coffee, Rick.
But he overlooked Monday Night Football, where Clarence has 2 players to go. So he comes back to reality.
Made your coffee.
So reserve your fantasy smack for Tuesday morning, because it all comes down to Monday night.
Why does a man lie to his wife?
An epic love story.
Don't trust him, just know that I love him.
And the year's best new drama.
We are all Americans. None of us has to die today.
Last Resort. All new Thursday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
Your cold doesn't rest, but now you can. New Cold-Ease Daytime, Nighttime Quick Melts dissolve quickly to shorten your cold. Nighttime Quick Melts shorten your cold, plus help you fall asleep and wake up naturally. Cold-Ease Zinc Ions released in your mouth inhibit the cold virus from replicating, making Cold-Ease the #1 pharmacist recommended cold remedy.
I'm Ted Karkas, CEO, and I guarantee Cold-Ease will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
Are you ready to save up to 95% on what you want most? Then try Quibids.com, an exciting new way to shop for products like iPads, MacBooks, HDTVs, cameras, appliances, and more. Imagine getting a new Apple iPad today for just $23.74.
I'm Brian, and I've won over 30 products and saved over $7,000 on Quibids.com, the best place to get amazing deals online.
That's Quibids.com. Go to Quibids.com now.
Titans say Jake Locker won't even dress Sunday for their game at Minnesota. He's got a sore left shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, but he's dislocated it twice this season. So Matt Hasselbeck will start for Tennessee. Hasselbeck's already seen some game action off the bench this season. It's all about the fans.
Time now for the Bud Light Fan Forum, where you send in questions via Twitter, and Eric Mangini answers as many of them as he can in 60 seconds. Ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right.
First one. What's your take on RG3 and the Redskins so far?
I think it's a really good fit. I like the way that he works with Mike Shanahan's system. He's completing almost 70% of his passes, over 100 quarterback rating. It's going to get better.
What is happening to the Saints?
It's a new defensive coordinator. It's a new defensive system, and that's where the problems are. They've got to figure out a way to improve a lot more quickly than they have. But when you look at it, they've lost all 4 games by a total of 20 points.
With the return of Mendenhall and Harrison, how good did the Steelers become?
I think it helps them a lot. Mendenhall's 4.1 yards a carry. They're last right now in rushing offense. And then you add Harrison's sacks. That'll help them on 3rd down. That's going to help them also generate pressure.
After what you saw Jay Cutler do against Tony Romo and the Cowboys, do you consider Cutler an elite QB in the NFL?
I think he's got elite traits, but he's got to get the interception to TD ratio a little bit higher in the TD range. That's always been a problem, and he'll take some chances and make some mistakes there.
What do the Panthers need to do to win some ball games?
I think Cam has to not press.
You can keep going. Finish it.
I think Cam has to not press. Right now, that's what it looks like is happening, and they need to improve against the run defensively. They were pretty close last game. Pretty amazing pass at the end of the game to set them up to lose. So they're close.
That was rude that they buzzed you in the middle of your answer.
I know. It's kind of hurtful.
Person should be
fired. I want another 60 seconds now.
Want to start over and do it again? What are they going to do? They going to stop us? It's live TV?
Give me 20 minutes.
Bud Light Fan Forum is brought to you by Bud Light. Log on to facebook.com/Bud Light for more Fan Forum.
It's about that time. Time for SportsCenter's top plays presented by John Hancock. Number 10, Rangers and Athletics. Giovanni Soto over to 3rd. Josh Donaldson. Yes, sir.
She's a beauty, that number 9. UEFA champions AC Milan, Zenit St. Petersburg, Stefan El Shaarawy. Individual effort in AC Milan's 3-2 win.
Number 8, Orioles and Rays. Kenny on Twitter hooked us up with this one. He's at KD Brown 93 in case you want to congratulate him for getting on SportsCenter. Ben Zobrist with a fly ball. Adam Jones. Track that one down. More from this game coming up.
Bartender, Jack. Oh, I'm sorry. We already gave last call. Mark DeRosa tries to order, and Juan Pierre says, no, we're closed.
Hate it when that happens. Number 6, Blue Jays taking on the Twins. Omar Vizquel honored before the game, throwing out the first pitch. 3-time All-Star, 11-time Gold Glover. Retires after a 24-year career. Wow. Jays win 2-1, sending them off in style.
More Champions League. Real Madrid taking on Ajax. Karim Benzema. Oh, he gets on his bicycle and rides. Real Madrid wins 4-1.
Every time we say Karim Benzema's name, I get an itch. Not quite sure why that
See your doctor.
Number 4. Remember Dan Johnson last year for the Rays? Something about the last game of the season. And Dan Johnson, home run, top of the 2nd off David Huff. It's White Sox and Indians here. Johnson with the White Sox. Now, another one off Huff, top of the 5th. Top of the 9th off Vinny Pestano. So 3 home runs for Dan Johnson. He had the home run that tied the game last year for the Rays, helped him get to the postseason.
Well, and then Evan Longoria had the one that put him into the postseason, but that was so last year. And Longoria, one shot ain't enough. You better make it 3. And Billy and Dave, Ludlow Fish and Game Horseshoe winners, they texted and said, you better show Longoria going yard not once, not twice, but 3 times in the Rays win over the O's.
Got to take a closer look at that mascot race in D.C. Teddy Roosevelt has a lot of ground to cover to have a chance to win. The Philly Fanatic came in and, well, he helped Teddy get the win.
Number 1, right there, Miguel Cabrera. First Triple Crown winner in 45 years. A standing O from the Royals fans.
SportsCenter's Top 10, brought to you by TD Ameritrade.
Hey, when SportsCenter returns, we celebrate what was an incredible final day of baseball's regular season. Strong finish.
See ya! His 2nd of the night.
They're a baseball playing bunch of...
Unbelievable feeling.
Rated mature.
Hey, Eddie, where's she going now?
Looks like the dry cleaner.
Dry cleaner.
The dry cleaner.
Dry cleaner.
The all-new Buick Verano gives you Pandora music streaming.
You guys are on.
It started with the whistle.
So your music goes wherever you go. It's unexpected luxury in a car this size.
I can't believe she's listening to that noise.
Eggs, bacon, and pancakes. Denny's Everyday Value Slam is $4 every day. Wait, is that right? Eggs, bacon, pancakes? Yeah, that's right. The $4 Everyday Value Slam. Only $4 every day. Only at Denny's.
What do you have to do to get a drink around here? Well, a lot, actually. This is a dry county, which means you can't buy it. You'll have to make it yourself. And here that means doing a lot of extra things. Things that are considered too difficult or costly in other places. Lynchburg, Tennessee. It's a hard place to get a drink of whiskey. But it's the only place to make Jack Daniels.
Ben Johnson's going to run away with it. Lewis cannot catch it.
What if I told you the clock doesn't lie or tell the truth? ESPN Films presents a 30 for 30 film, 9/7/9, Tuesday at 8 on ESPN.
Dual threat star Braxton Miller leads the Buckeyes against Taylor Martinez and the Cornhuskers. Saturday Night Football, Nebraska, Ohio State, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. The Government Accountability Office has released an important report regarding abuse and neglect in nursing homes. It states that 70% of state nursing homes underreported serious care problems. Broken bones, dehydration, and malnutrition may be signs of nursing home abuse or neglect. If you believe that a loved one has been a victim of nursing home abuse or neglect,
call 1-800-607-0098. That's 1-800-607-0098.
Let's compare technology on Dish and DirecTV. DirecTV has 7 Emmy Awards for technical achievement, and Dish 1. And now DirecTV offers a high-definition DVR with TiVo, and Dish doesn't. Only DirecTV combines TiVo's unique interface and integrated search with our award-winning interactive features. Number 1 in technology. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
SportsCenter from Los Angeles. Brought to you by Prometheus. On Blu-ray and DVD, October 9th.
We asked, you answered, who should win the AL MVP, and overwhelmingly, it's your Triple Crown winner from the Detroit Tigers, Miguel Cabrera. I miss baseball. Can we see the last day again, please?
What a series it's been so far, and A's would like to top it off with a division crown. Is hit down the right field line. One run scores, 2 runs score, and we are tied. Cespedes hits one very high. Hamilton coming in, and he dropped it. He dropped it. A's lead 7-5. Fly ball. Ball game. The Oakland A's have shocked the Rangers and the baseball world. Unbelievable.
There's a deep drive to left and gone. There's another deep drive. Well, game 162 is his game.
Jones back, and goodbye.